And good morning, Tradeify Nation, and welcome to another edition of Tradeify TV. It is Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. It is Friday, August 1st, 2025. It is 60 minutes before the New York opening bell, which means it's time for us to help get you ready for your trading day. Now, we got a lot to talk about in the first few minutes of the show as we process and digest the move overnight, the news overnight. Of course, we're going to cover all the key levels in the ES, the NQ. I'll take a look at the GC and the CL, maybe a little bit of the Russell as well. However, we have to start the show with a bit of an announcement. So last night, you heard President Trump announced a whole new round of tariffs coming out, which we're going to get into in just a minute. I'm going to pull up the headlines on Bloomberg. We'll take a look at it. We'll talk about what it means. However, one of the tariffs that was announced was a 39%, oddly specific, 39% tariff on Switzerland. So we here at Tradeify regret to announce we're going to see 39% less Swiss NIC as the show moves forward. It's very sad. It's very tragic. But we need to comply with law here, and it was either I'm not even sure who we pay 39% more or less. I'm not even sure how that works. All I know is it's just easy to keep him off the show for 39% of the time. So it's sad, it's upsetting. But again, we've got to follow the law and follow what's put out there. Now, this could change by Monday, of course, as we were told there would be no deadlines, no extensions, and no this, no that, and all of that is out the window. So very sad news here at Tradeify TV. But yes, 39%. And we have to be specific of it. We've got background Nick clocking it to the tick. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. So over an abundance of caution, we're going to start August without him. Now, of course, I'm kidding, guys. Just for today's show, Nick said yesterday he's out, but I don't think that quite is 39% less Nick. But we miss him anyway. So Nick, we'll see you Monday. All right. After all that, it's time for me to intro my single co-host for the day, my one partner for the day, as opposed to we usually have two. We usually have the background guys. Miriam, it's just us today, so let's introduce our. I don't remember all the things Nick had prepared for you, so I'm just going to say let's welcome our fellow host, waking up early as she always does from the great state of California, Matcha Mommy Miriam. Good morning, Miriam.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Tradeify Nation. Yeah, Nick is probably hitting some PRs right now in his half marathon that he's running. I'm not quite sure if he is in the middle of the race or done with the race. We told him to live stream from the race if he was able to, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he's able to. But one of the things I wanted to mention too is a new month, guys. It is August 1st, and one thing that I did learn actually from my 7th grade math teacher.
Oh wow, we're going back now.
We're going back. One of the things he said to me was every first of the month, when you wake up, one of the first things you should say is rabbit, and that'll help you start off a great, prosperous month. And I've been saying it ever since 7th grade, so y'all better say it now. So you
rabbit. I'm very curious to what's behind that and what that means.
I don't know, but it's my 7th grade math teacher that I trust with everything. So obviously it's got to do something. So rabbit to everyone today. Hopefully we start August off with a great month, some great trading, and hopefully that carries on to the rest of the month. So, that's the goal here. But we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting month. We had a lot going on over the overnight session. So we'll see.
Well, it's one of those. It's been one of those rare overnight sessions where we had a ton of news between when the markets closed yesterday and today. Not just the tariff news. There's some Fed stuff going on. So we'll have to talk about that, Miriam. So why don't you intro all that for us?
All right, we'll get into it. Before you do that, let's get into the market wake up.
All right, guys. So, Drew, if we want to pull up my screen here real quick, we're gonna change things up just a little this morning without our good friend Swiss Nick. I want to talk about the headlines that came in over the overnight. Okay, couple of headlines that are right in the news, some that are a little behind on the news. So obviously, I love alliteration. It's always fun. So in Bloomberg here, Trump tariff blitz unleashes delays to shock the global economy. So we're not going to go through every country, every tariff, do all this stuff, guys. But the big steep decline overnight, a couple hundred points, about 300 points overall. No, about 200. Excuse me. Is President Trump, we knew coming into yesterday, they said coming into yesterday that August 2nd, April 2nd, excuse me, tariffs would go into place with countries that do not have a trading deal with the U.S. And not only did that happen, but he put some additional tariffs on various things as well. Sort of, again, shocked the market overnight. We had a pretty steep decline coming off of that. The other thing that was newsworthy to me, guys, as I was scanning through my news feed, was we have some very vocal dissents from Waller and Bowman of the Fed, saying that they favor rate cuts and basically kind of echoing some of the president and his advisors' language, attacking Jerome Powell for that. You can see this headline: Trump urges Fed board to assume control if rates not cut. So again, Trump getting involved with the Fed. I told you guys, I maintain, I actually signed up for a Polymarket account a couple days ago to place a nice little bet that Jerome Powell will not be the Fed chair at the end of 2025. Unfortunately, I didn't realize in the U.S. you can't bet that kind of stuff. So, that's and it was great odds too. It was, I think it was, risk 100, make like 500. So they don't. Is
it not patriotic? Is that why?
I guess, I don't know. You think? I mean, the way sports gambling is legalized,
right?
That stuff would be right behind the. I bet it is. If I recall, Polymarket is owned and run by a buddy of the Trump administration. So my guess is that stuff becomes very legal very soon. But regardless of that, that's how strongly I felt on that. And I feel like the forces are going to be mustering to push him out before the September meeting. And again, we'll see. And I know everybody's going to jump to he can't do that. He can't do that. I know, I get it. I'm just sort of reading the tea leaves in the action, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, a lot of that type of information coming out overnight. It's going to be another big news-driven macro day. I expect we will hear a lot of news and tweets and all that as we get going. I don't know the president's schedule today. They have not posted anything on it yet. Obviously, if he's meeting with any heads of state and he's taking questions, or if he's doing any press conferences, we'll need to keep an eye on that. It seems to be he's now, again, the president tends to be very focused / obsessed with certain things at certain times. Right now, he's very focused on the Fed and rates. And so we're going to have to pay attention to that and see where we go from there. So Miriam, why don't you cover the indexes and the overnight action and what happened, and then we'll come back to me and I'll show you some of the other stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I was just getting my levels set up here on both futures. I'll go over ES here. I'm not quite done with those, but I'll go over ES here real quick. So interesting overnight price action, guys. We have, we came into the day yesterday. Everyone was feeling bullish. We were making new all-time highs, and this happened. So you're looking at the 1 hour chart here on both futures right now. NASDAQ on the left, ES on the right, and we're really, if you zoom out, let me just zoom out to the 4 hour here so you guys can really appreciate this. I was mentioning to everyone over this past week, right? Like right now, as we stood in the beginning of the week, we were sitting in bullish territory. We were making new all-time highs. Every pullback was getting bought. And, now we're just sitting in this place that we said that we didn't expect to be in, right? So, we had news come out, we had earnings, everything was going well. And then, we got this massive move to the downside. Now, this was the area that I mentioned we could possibly get into, right? I talked about this 23,100 area that we are now trying to bounce at. I had to take off all of my levels that I had previously, but, we're looking at this 3 hour demand zone that we're currently popping at. Now, this level has been, it hasn't been revisited too much, but we're seeing it right now. We're seeing us bounce at this, call it 23,050 all the way down to 23,010. So basically the 23,000 area, right? Now, if we continue further from here, right? Because we've broken a few trend lines, we've obviously broken a few key levels as well. Right now pre-market low is sitting at this 23,031 area. Okay. Now, if we continue to the downside, we do have this 4 hour demand zone sitting in between 2280 860 and 22,800. Okay. I had mentioned a few weeks ago that if we continue below this level, we could very possibly see the 600s, 22,600. Now we're going to keep in mind, it's Friday. It's freaky. There's a lot of stuff that can go on today. But that's going to be kind of the target that I look for if we continue to the downside here. Breaking 23,000 and then heading down to the 800s. If we break the 800s, we could see the 600s today. And if we break the 600s, let's just keep in mind we might just go to zero at that point, because we got a lot of room to the downside if we break the 600s.
And Lil D-Gen will short it all the way down.
I'll be right there with him. Yeah, this 600 is going to be a pretty key area for us to hold. I think, once we start breaking those levels, like, bulls should be a little bit worried. I mean, we really have all the way down this 22,200 area. You could see this prior swing high that we made here, and then we broke above as resistance. We never really came back to this area, but this would be the next target. So again, coming back to the 1 hour here, let's look at what happens if we actually bounce here. Okay, so we do have some areas that we need to get through. Okay, we had yesterday's low sitting here at the 23,300. This is the New York low, so obviously we made continuation lows from there. But we have yesterday's low sitting at this 23,300, and then we need to get back above this 23,420. This has been also a key level. You guys can see prior support here turned, now resistance essentially. So we're gonna have to make our way back up, crawling our way back up. And of course, anything can happen here. The next level of real resistance I see is not until this 23,560. Again, I don't really know if we're going to get up there. I'm feeling very bearish on the day. But anything can happen. We didn't expect this move that we were going to get, right? So, that's going to be the levels that I look for. It's really key for us for the bulls. If you are feeling like a bull, we got to get back above this 300 area. I think, you're talking about pre-market high. The Asia session was really struggling here. You could see right into the London session, we just continued the sell-off. But pre-market high is sitting at this 23,350 level. So, if we can claim 300, I think we try to make the move back up. But I'm not feeling very strong on the bulls today. So we'll see if we can continue getting this downside move, possibly into the 860s. Now, let's go over ES here. ES, was starting to feel a little bit stronger yesterday during the New York session. We had this nice pull down into this, or pull back into this 400 area early in the morning. Nice bounce of that level. And then we did find resistance at the 34s. Now, this was actually a short setup that I did take after the stream, and I ended up taking this for puts on options. But we came into this resistance zone, and now this is actually a 1 hour supply zone. Okay, you could see this nice basing candle and a nice imbalance candle coming out of that. So when we're talking about potential resistance areas, right, 400, all the key levels, 400, 396, 375, those sort of areas right now are going to be pretty key. Now, I know we're way below that, but you guys can see, look where we bottomed at, the 300 area, right? These are all psychological levels on ES. Every about, clean psychological number is going to be a key area. So 300, 400, 500, those sort of levels are going to be key. But, you can see we bounced right at this 3 hour supply zone. So now, next area that we got to go to for the bulls is previous day low, right? Previous day low is sitting at this 63.58 area. And we had a nice sell-off into the end of the session yesterday. So continued that sell-off, of course, just like NASDAQ did. And now we just got to reclaim. If we can reclaim the 63.58 area, I think we come back up to the pre-market high sitting at, 374. So 374 is also a key level. If we can continue back up, I think we try to test this trend line sitting around the 96s. 96s were also key from a couple days ago. We did hit those areas. Yeah, it was right here on Tuesday. You guys can see we came down and just made a nice little volume tail at that level. But in terms of getting back up, I think we really got to start looking bullish if we can continue to reclaim the 63,400s. Okay, right now, not really feeling that. I think we do continue lower. We might get a little pop up into this area, but then I think we continue the move down. So the moves down, I think for ES, you got to pay attention to this 300 area. Okay, 300 is going to be key. If we can clear 300, we have room down to 288. If we clear 288, guys, we got a lot of room to the downside. You see this wick that we put in on July 16th. You could treat this as a gap fill, right? We talk about gap fills a lot on the stream, and you could essentially take this, call it a fair value, whatever it is, right? This essentially would be an imbalance. So you could take possibly look at the 280s breaking and then possibly play this. I have a support sitting here at 263, but you could possibly take this down to fill this wick at 240. And 240, you know, we made a nice strong bounce there on the 16th, but that's going to be kind of where I look for, right? I think if we continue getting this move down, ES could see the 240s possibly today. Otherwise, again, we got to get above previous day low and see if we can continue the bullish move. If this is just a quick correction and not even correction, it's just a little pullback, right, on a higher time frame. But if we can continue to make the move down, I think we'll see those levels today. So let's go over oil and gold, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to take just a brief look before we do that at the Russell 2000 as well, which has been kind of in very, very steady decline, basically since it put in a kind of a double top here going into the last weekend before we had a small gap up. We've now replaced that gap, and we are well off of our highs by almost 100 points. And again, Russell, good measure of the appetite of risk for big money in the markets. And right now, we have bounced off a little bit of the bottoms here, but this not a pretty chart unless you're pretty consistently bearish. As far as gold, not surprising, spiking up this morning on the variety of tariff announcements, on the variety of economic news. For those, we did have non-farm payrolls. They came in a little softer than expected, and both May and June's job reports were downwardly revised by over 100,000 jobs on each particular report. So basically what they're telling us is over the past 3 months, we've only added a little over 100,000 jobs in the economy altogether. So just something to keep an eye on, guys. I mean, this isn't, me saying, oh, this is horrible, we're going to crash, or oh, this is wonderful, we're going to, no, it just is what it is. And this has been a kind of a common theme over the past year or two, that there have been a lot of sort of revision of some of the numbers that come out. And, I'm sure people on either side of the aisle will point to political reasons for that, but some of the bottom line is we don't know a lot of the effects of some of these tariffs that are not yet in place, announced but not yet in place. Well, now apparently all these tariffs that are going to be in place until there's deals are in place. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt. We did hear specifically yesterday that there would be no extensions for any country, and then literally an hour later they announced a 90-day extension for Mexico. So it really is a don't look at what we say, look at what we do type situation. So again, it doesn't matter anybody's personal feelings on that or the person issuing the tariffs. They are what they are. The market's going to react how they react, right? So gold screaming up, and when we get candles like this, when we get some movements, I can sit here, Miriam can sit here and look at technical levels all day. But one of the things we're going to be very careful of today, guys, and probably for the first couple of sessions of next week as well, is that the news is going to drive things. The macros, the big fundamentals are going to be driving the price action. Now, it doesn't mean we ignore the technicals, but we just be aware that in high volume, major macro type situations, the technicals may not be as reliable as we like them. Now, maybe they are, right? Maybe everything plays out really nice on the candlesticks, really nice, whether you're a momentum trader, a VWAP trader, a bear bull flag trader, ICT trader, whatever the case may be. But we just have to be aware that on days like today, it's not the technicals driving the market. It's the fundamentals driving the market. Okay, so just be aware of that. As we get to oil here, guys, oil, I said, is really not tradable for me right now, and I don't see the next move on oil. We accurately predicted this breakout early in the week. I know a couple of you left messages, that one on Twitter and a couple in the chat here, that you hit a big move here based off of that. Congrats. Hope take your significant other out for this weekend then if you get some nice profits or a payout. And we banged our head up here at the 69.80 level, broke through, false breakout, because we ended up right back underneath this level. And until we either break out of this level or break down kind of below the 68.60 level. I don't necessarily see gold as, come on, click on that thing, whatever. I don't see gold as overly tradable. Anyone who deals with Sierra knows what I'm dealing with right now. But anyway, yeah, Sierra is kind of like a moody teenager. It's, you know, it's got some good energy, but when it screws up, it really screws up. So anyway, yeah, one thing I wanted to look at though, guys, is we don't often look at daily charts. Bring my Tradeify back up. Come on. Okay, but I pulled up a daily chart of the NQ here, guys. So what is this latest tariff mess going to create? Well, last time we were in an uncertain tariff situation was this huge decline. Now, is that going to happen again? I don't think it's going to. I'm not predicting a 22,000 all the way down here to what, about 16.5. This was a hell of a sell-off, guys, and we were in genuine correction territory before, 2 months later, rallying back to new all-time highs. I don't think that's what's coming again, guys, but I just want us to hold this in context. Now, in context, we're not that far off new all-time highs. I'll be honest, Miriam, I said yesterday, and I've said a couple times this week, that there's only one or two things that would surprise me about the market for that given day. I think I said, a couple days ago, the only thing that would surprise me is if we just kind of barcode out, if we don't see any big movements. And we have seen a fair amount of big movements this week. Honestly, there is no outcome to the markets, I think, today that would surprise me. I think it is entirely possible we open and just keep running lower as the markets say, F these rates and F your tariffs, right? I think there's also the possibility that the market does, as it has done on many occasions, open up and just start filling the gaps, right, of the close from yesterday to the New York Open of today. There's if you tell me we're back up towards 400 today, I don't know if we're making new all-time highs. I'd believe you. You tell me we're down at 22,000, I'll believe you. I would actually even believe that we don't, I won't say completely barcode out, but we don't establish a firm position today as we wait for clarification on the tariffs and any more news that may come out from the president and all that. Now, again, it's Friday. If we don't hear any other news, there may be a little bit of a sell-off in the afternoon as especially big firms want to reduce their long exposure over the weekend. But again, maybe, what have we seen constantly is that over the weekend, especially going into Sunday, the president likes to pop the market sometimes with some announcements. So we'll see how all that goes. Guys, it's going to be a little bit of a mess, I have no doubt. But that's what we're here to help provide a little guidance for, and we will see what happens at the Open.
So you're saying you don't have a lot of conviction on the day? Is that what I'm hearing?
I have zero conviction on today. Absolutely none. My only conviction is that there is no conviction, and that in itself is a conviction.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna let you unpack that, and when your head stops spinning, we'll get back to the show. Yeah. Okay.
No, you know what?
Would anything surprise you today? I mean,
absolutely. I was just going to say nothing would surprise me today. Nothing does surprise me in the markets, period. But, there are certain days, yes, where we have a little bit more conviction than others. And it just feels like, at least for me, it's been harder to establish trades in the sense of, all right, this feels like we're going to do this today, right? And again, we don't want to go based off predictions. That's usually not what we do here. It does feel like a bearish day, but that being said, we've just seen so much happening in the markets. There's so much uncertainty, tweets popping up, all the fundamentals coming out, and it just feels like, this market could absolutely rip to all-time highs today. That would not surprise me. Now, do I think based off a technical standpoint, that's what we're going to do? No, absolutely not. But, it wouldn't surprise me if right now, we held this level. 23,000 is a key area on the NASDAQ. So is 6,300. So, if we reclaim these areas, I think, we possibly do have room to previous day high, previous day low, but getting the move here, we're going to need to see the volume. We're going to need to see the volume. We're going to need to see, a lot of these bids getting hit. A lot of action happened between, yesterday pre-market, right? and now. So, we're talking about like over 160 point drop on the ES, right? Yeah. And on NASDAQ, we're almost, oh my goodness, over 800 points down. Like that's pretty significant. We're talking about a pretty nice pullback that we got here. So I would make the assumption that we're going to continue to get another pullback. But these are also key areas, so we just got to be mindful of where we're sitting here. I would like to wait, and I keep saying this, I would like to wait for the first 15 minutes, for the markets to kind of settle here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just completely knife through these areas. I did mark out the wick fill here on ES in blue. I don't know if that's very clear on my charts here, but 280 is that level that I think you could take a tradable short all the way down to 240s. I would assume this wick would get filled, the imbalance would get filled on that. So that'll be something that I hope we get. Again, if we don't do anything today, I don't think we're gonna barcode. I think there is enough momentum to continue pulling us back here. Either way, I think there's a lot of movement that has happened that we'll find some sort of reaction, and I don't think we're gonna barcode. And as I say that right now, I really hope that I just didn't jinx that. So
we know who to blame.
Rabbit.
Yeah, rabbit. There you go. Marbles.
Yeah, marbles. Exactly.
Anyway, I see Simba's in the chat this morning. Good morning, Brett. Brett, our chat's kind of been ever since the announcement of the competition next Friday. Little Nicky's been getting shit talked by our chat a little bit. So I'm assuming you're in here to respond to that and prepare for the competition next Friday. I know we're all looking forward to that.
Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. If you guys haven't heard about that, that is it's gonna be kicking off. And maybe when we get we're gonna get DJ Nick on the stream this morning, so he'll be here to. Oh, we got a little graphic there.
Yeah, there we go. There's our graphic.
Yeah, so game contest.
Carry a little Nicky.
What's that?
Damn, I was gonna say little DJ's catching strays from the boss in the chat.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, so we're gonna have him on in a little bit here, but yeah, we're about less than 30 minutes here from the New York session. Nick, or not Nick. See, now I'm confused. I'm talking about two different Nicks here. We only have us two on the stream today. It's
I know we just honestly we just needed to make one of them change their name, like legally, like completely. That's actually, just for they should have to make a life altering decision just because we're a little uncomfortable. So yes, I absolutely I think Nick in my head, and I got to separate. Is that D-Gen? Is it Swiss Nick? That's why I always try to say D-Gen or Swiss Nick, because I get confused easily.
And then you mix them, it's too much. It's too much. Yeah. But as I was saying, in terms of this overnight, do you ever trade the Asia session, Matt?
I really don't. I maybe this is a carryover from my options days, but I was very serious in options for quite some years. And options only trade during the New York hours. Now I do think that's gonna change at some point, because there's new exchanges opening up. I know Texas wants to do their own and trade stocks and options 24 hours. I mean, we'll see how far that gets. But so I'm really focused on options hours. So I will occasionally, I have just a couple times on this show, take a nibble before the New York Open. But no, honestly, I try to create some compartmentalization from trading life and non, because I see too many times where it bleeds over and too many people really get obsessed with everything. And and I know people that are struggling want to kind of figure it out, and so they want to think that extra 10-20 minutes of charting per day is going to make a huge difference. And early in your career it will, don't get me wrong. If you're in your first year and a half and you can take an extra 15-20 minutes to stay, by all means. But once you get into year 3, 4, 5, and especially once you start to see some level of profitability, even if it's not as consistent, and even if it's not as consistent as you'd like, it's still can take over your life. And I've seen that too much. I had a friend who was a trader have a full-on breakdown about 2 years ago, and so that was tough, and especially tough on the wife and kids as well. So doing better now, back into trading, doing what he needs to do and seeking out the help he needs. But this is a gig that can take over your life if you let it, and guys, don't let it, because it ain't worth it, right? Yeah. And in fact, for 90% of traders, I'd be willing to say that is more detrimental to be spending that extra 20-30 minutes. I guess isn't really a problem. It's the 2-3 hours at night. Or I know people, and I'm sure there's some DGens in the chat, wake up at 2 in the morning and put a trade on, or do guys, that's we like liquidity, so I want to stay within the New York hours. But ultimately, I know you trade a little bit in that Asian section because it's not at midnight for you. It's a little more reasonable hours.
I am traumatized by the Asia session, so I will not trade the Asia session ever again. That is something that, yeah, it's too slow for me. I think there might be, I don't know, I don't trade gold, but I heard gold trades really well during the Asia session. Certain indices probably are just a little bit slower during that time, but yeah, I will not trade the Asia session. That is something that I avoid. Plus it's during it's about like 4 o'clock my time. And that's usually when I like to unwind. I like to just chill and not do much. So yeah, for me, no Asia session, definitely no London session. That's probably about midnight for me. But yeah, definitely not an Asia session trader. I do like to stick to the New York session as well. So and then sometimes in the pre-market, sometimes some of the London session, but yeah, I think let's see if we can get little Nikki on here in the background. Little Nikki, are you ready to come on? Okay, he's giving me the thumbs up. Drew, if you can set him up in the background here, and then we'll pull him up. Yeah, definitely a few things to look at. I know there's a few things. Let's see.
Drew, if we want to go to my chart real quick too, let me or hold on, I got to catch up on some bars. There we go. We had a request to look at copper in the the chat, or excuse me, not in the chat. So guys, copper, the big headline news of the week, there's going to be some copper tariffs put in. So companies have just apparently been stockpiling copper for months. So we had an absolutely huge drop in copper. Ignore this here again, Sierra. Let's see if I can get that off screen. No, just gonna be there. There we go. Download, you son of a bit. Anyway, there we go. So yeah. So a couple days ago, guys, a huge drop in copper from 5.65 all the way to a larger than $2 drop, just absolutely insane. So again, it was because Trump put a huge tariff on importing copper. So as far as domestic copper, I think this was kind of hinted at. I saw this news a couple days ago, and so I don't know if it was reporting stockpiles or whatever, but like companies are like stepping over copper in their office right now because they put so much of it away in anticipation of these tariffs. So whether it's copper, whether it's steel, whether it's auto, I know Ford reported basically the majority of their profits have been eaten up by some of these tariffs. Again, say what you want about the tariffs, guys. They move the markets, which is momentum day traders we like. This was sort of unexpected though, and RIP anyone who was long copper going into this. But if you were short, you made a bank. So guys, yeah, this has sort of been the big metal news on the week. So we'll kind of take a look at there. Say zoom the daily out. It's back to April lows.
April lows is crazy.
Take a while to load. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, it's all the way back down here at April lows. So, yeah.
If you remember April lows, that was a great buying opportunity in the market. But
April lows was actually a pop punk singer from the late '80s too.
That's such a tongue twister. Pop punk singer.
Pop punk singer. Yeah, I don't know where I came from.
Say that 5 times fast.
April Lowe's does sound like a really shitty actor name, doesn't it?
Yeah, or like just a band.
Starring Schwarzenegger and introducing April Lowe's. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of show today. Hope y'all are ready for it. All right, we're ready to bring on DGen now, I think. So let's bring on Lil DGen to the program. He's going to join us for a little while this morning and talk some trading as soon as his camera snaps on here, which seems to be a thing with that. Brett, we need to upgrade little Nicky's camera. It takes a couple of seconds to adjust to his radiance.
It's not mine, I swear. Morning.
Morning.
I see you rocking the white tee, so we have a white tee on the program today, regardless.
Yeah, I felt bad for wearing a black tee on Wednesday, so in honor of Nick, I've got to bring in the white tee.
All right, so wow. How much DJing did you do overnight?
I did some DJing at the bar, but not DJing in the market, which I wish I did, because one of my buddies is here with me, and he's like, dude, we should short the market because tariffs are coming out. Like, all right. I'm like, we can't do that. Like, you're asking for too much right now. And he was right. We should have shorted it.
I can see you logging into the house account from a bar and trying to short everything. That would be
that'd be bad if that showed up.
Either way, that would be an epic story and probably something you'd have to explain in a meeting, but it's fine.
That would be great.
And Brett's watching. Be like, Brett, listen, we might have hit a low on the house account.
Oh no. Oh man. Well, what are you feeling like today, little Nikki?
Continuation of this for sure. I want to see us continue down. I think we'd be trying to catch a falling knife if I long this. As much as internally I'm like, all right, we're down big. That means we got to come back up. But I don't know. It's a weird. I've got to pull up my trading view here. I don't like charting on trade of 8. But yeah, I mean, I kind of want to catch a short pre-market, but I don't like trading the pre-market just because the open is a crazy place to be, and that can hit drawdown real fast. So I don't know. It's weird, but I do see a continuation down. That's primarily what I'll be looking for.
Let the opening bears continue to fall out the window. That's how I see it today. We gotta let them just continue this. But yeah, it's not looking too good for bulls right now. I mean, we're trying to hold these demand zones, but I think we might slice through them.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what I'm seeing. Like, I like that we broke
out with the light mode
channel.
chart, man. Come on.
I genuinely like the light mode.
Light burn out the retinas of our viewers, bro. Come on.
I promise. I just like it. I don't even know I don't even know how to change it back if I want.
I don't know, man. Between that and the cloak, we may need to put you time out for a couple of hours.
Do you guys trade with black on the?
Yes, always dark mode, man. Come
like
on.
My eyes just are so strained looking at that light screen. How are you? I don't know how you white backgrounds do it.
This is crazy to me. Wait.
Man, he's gonna have some thick ass glasses by the time he's in his 40s.
Man.
Hey.
Maybe it's an after like 28-year-old sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell, and Nick, I can say that with confidence because I have thick ass glasses and I'm in my 40s. So yeah, you're heading that route.
Oh man.
He's like, no, I don't want to.
So this is what you guys, this is what you look at? Like
well, not that. I don't know what that is, but
yeah, what you get, that looks like a plaid shirt that somebody from Wisconsin would wear.
That looks like a Tron sequel.
Yeah.
I gotta get this dark stuff off. Someone's got to show me how to do dark mode because I feel like a.
Why does your dark mode look worse?
I don't know. You know what this is.
Yeah, maybe just go back to your.
There you go.
Yeah, the chat's coming after you too, Nick. So Nick, both
candles black. Nothing can go wrong if both candles are black. I love that. That's genius.
Every candle's an up candle if you do keep them all the same color, right?
Yeah.
Let's make them all green. And
he's figured it out.
No, you email the brokerage. No, I won on this trade. Look, it's all green candles. So before we kind of settle in and move into the markets here for the open and whatever the hell that has in store for us, Nick, there's been a little trash talking from our viewers about next week, man. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm gonna play Halo probably all weekend and smoke everybody in this chat. So, and we've got like 40 people that have signed up so far.
That's great. That's going to be good and entertaining. You guys have plenty of opponents. So, so is that what you're telling your fiance this weekend? No, baby, I gotta play Halo all weekend, and she's gonna. It's for work, babe. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many times you could say you're gonna be playing games all Friday for work, but
yeah,
that's what we're gonna do.
So who else? It's you and Brett, and who else is on there?
It's JP, who is our community manager, and Drew.
Okay.
Oh, let's go.
Gonna get a little crazy.
This is win-win for us because we can support you guys because you're a behind-the-scenes team. But if you lose, we can shit talk you as well. For us as hosts who aren't participating, this is really a win-win for us.
Yeah.
You guys might have to be commentators for it because we're gonna be so locked in that I don't know if I'll even be talking or we'll be giving comms to each other, and I can't have the opposing team hear me.
I play my fair share of games, but it's all single player stuff, mostly sports stuff. So I haven't really even watched a lot of this. So I don't know how I'd commentate. I'll just be like, oh, this guy shot this guy. They both look alike. I don't know what teams they're on. Yeah, that could be fun though. Yeah, you guys have to broadcast. You said on a delay, so they don't scout you.
Yeah.
Okay.
30-second delay probably. All right, the chat helped me. We've now switched into dark mode after I struggled so hard.
Wow, that looks so much better.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
doesn't it? I mean, you need a deeper black in the background.
A
but
little
that's-
bit, but you know, it's fine.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Welcome to the dark side.
Welcome to Tradeify TV. We'll be concentrating on Trading View for Dummies this morning. That's
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
So
we need
what,
your
Nick,
cloak.
what do you
I don't know
think?
where your cloak is.
so you're playing for a continuation this morning. Are we just going to dump at the open? You think, or are we gonna maybe have some profit taking?
I think we're gonna dump at the open, to be honest. I kind of want to take a pre-market short. I'm always nervous to take them, but I think we're just gonna ride with the pre-market right now.
Okay.
It is tempting. It is definitely tempting. I would like a little pullback. Well, I would probably play ES today, but I would like a pullback to the 325s on ES and then look to short from there. But I don't know. Even the 315s look shortable to me right now. So maybe we don't even need another 10-point move to the upside. It's tough to say though. Even NASDAQ right now just looks like it wants to go. It looks like it wants to dump. We have some buyers sitting there at the 50s here on book maps. Show you guys.
I'll be honest, I'd forgotten how big the pullback in April was before I pulled that up for the daily
Right.
for the show. Like we were down at like in the 16,000. I mean, I can't just think about that. We have been pushing 24,000. Or not quite. Yeah, but we've been making runs at 24,000 and at 15,000 within 4 months of each other. Like holy shit. I mean, that's some movement, but I mean, it's been one of those years. And this is, guys, I've said many times, if you're in your first year of trading, I know it doesn't seem like it now, but if you stick with it and you're successful, you are going to look back at 2025 and be like, yeah, that taught me how to manage my risk. Because again, if you learn no skill in your first year of trading except how to manage risk, I don't even care if you're failing evals left and right. If you're just lasting longer a little bit each time, right, you're making progress. And if you don't know how to handle your risk or manage risk, this is the environment that is going to punish you. I've talked many times on the show about how sloppy entries are going to be very, very punished. And listen, every coach on this stream has caught some great entries, and we've caught some sloppy entries as well. And you've seen us get punished for it. So it is what it is, guys. You just got to manage your risk and go from there. And as much as we joke with little DGen, we don't full DGen everything. It's we joke, but little DGen actually has some good trades. So we'll for all the joking though, Nick, we don't see you taking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 losses. I mean, you may blow some accounts behind the scenes, but the house account seems to be on a pretty steady upward trajectory.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better over the year. I think you got to get a little bit of the DGen out of you to be able to be like, yeah, this is definitely not going to be sustainable long term. But no, yeah, I've actually doing pretty well the past couple weeks. So
Good.
Hope to keep that up. But I don't believe in jinxing, otherwise I'd be knocking on wood right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. So we are about 12 minutes from the New York Open. So I don't think today will be boring, knock on wood. I mean, I guess if we get into a 20-point range in barcode for an hour, then everyone can call me an idiot. But it'll be interesting to see kind of where we go. We already have a 5-minute ATR, guys, of 28, which is, I said I want to see, like, once the New York session is up, I want to see typically above 20, above 25. 28 to about 35 is a really nice sweet spot, right? Because that means we can theoretically get that much movement in a 5-minute candle, which, guys, yesterday I think myself and Tyler hit a nice short, but boy, we were sitting in that thing, sweating that thing for a while and came within 5 points of the stop loss. So I don't prefer my trades, any of them, winning or losing, to be like that. Prefer to be right or wrong fairly quickly. So with bigger ATRs, again, you got to give yourself a little more room. Probably reduce your position size when ATRs. If our 5-minute ATR gets over 40, that's usually my signal to reduce position size just a little bit. So like a personal position size of 3 minis would probably go down to 2. If you're somebody who trades maybe 10 micros, maybe bring it down to 7. Just because you're going to have to give your stops a little more room. Because again, in theory, what your 5-minute ATR is about how much each candle's range is. So if you're dead wrong on a trade, you could have, at least right now, 28 points of movement before you would know it. So again, that's just how I use the ATR tool. Some people have asked if I use it in a strategy sense. I really don't. It's just sort of a roundabout way of measuring range in the market and volatility in the markets as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I talk about trading ES. I know I don't trade it a lot, but I feel like it gives you a little bit of more breathing room, when you are trading it, because even some of you could have like a 2-3 point stop on it if you have a nice entry, and then you could shoot for like 10 plus points. I think a 10 pointer on ES is a really, really solid move, a solid trade. Especially if your stop is like 2, 3, even 5 points, that's a 2-to-1 right there. So I talk about trading ES, you guys, but man, some days I can't do it. But you know what, I really do like ES. I do like ES. I like both charts today. Lots of confluence for once that we're getting here, but we're sitting below VWAP. We're really like flirting with both demand zones right now. Nice confluence that we're getting. We haven't seen a lot of this in the past few sessions, so it's refreshing to see that right now. Of course, the market hasn't opened yet. We open in about less than 10 minutes, but for me, it's really looking at breaking this 23,000. Can we break 23,000 and continue lower to the 900s, possibly even 800s, possibly 0, and just go from there. So I think there's a lot of room to make money today, but again, it's gonna be certain key levels that I look for today that we either break above or break below that will validate these trades. So we'll see, but it looks pretty bearish still. Looks pretty bearish. Nice push into VWAP here, and then continuation right now. So we will watch this. But I did want to show you guys book maps real quick, because we do see some of these buyers sitting here at this 23,050 on NASDAQ here, and that's literally where we're pretty much hovering right now. If I try to zoom out here, you guys can see not a lot going on. We do have some, I know you can't see it right now, but this 300 area or 23,000 area is going to be key as well. And then it looks like we might be developing those orders around the 75s. So sort of a small zone right now that we're working with on the maps. But then ES, if I go to ES here real quick, if it'll load, looks like the two. Let's see, we have some sellers. Let me just zoom out here. My book maps is lagging a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, so we do have some sitting at this 325 area. And then we do have some buyers potentially at this. Let's see if I zoom out. I don't know why we're lagging so much here. I've been having tech issues all week. That's another thing. It's just not my week. But yeah, 300 to 295, and then we have some sitting at 285 and then 280. That's that level I was telling you guys about. If we break 280 on ES, we could see the wick fill down into the, let's see, where is that? I think the 40s I had mentioned. Yeah, the 40s, 240s. So this is an ever-changing map. We can see like these really thick areas of red, and so the deeper the red, the stronger the orders. I look at those in relation to support and resistance zones. So if we see like a really thick area above us that's in red, typically that means there's a lot of sellers sitting there. Right now you can see the 300s have some really thick orders sitting there, 302 to be exact, and then 300 you can see some orders sitting there. And again, book maps, we take it with a grain of salt. We're not like looking to take trades just because book maps tells us to. No, it's more so to see where the orders are currently sitting. And again, we've seen those orders get removed very quickly on a lot of occasions. But right now, that's kind of where I'm seeing potential bounce areas at this 6302 and then 6300 sitting here on book maps, which is showing that we do want to bounce. But you can see very strong red bubbles, which indicates a lot of strong selling pressure as well. So the bigger the bubbles, the bigger the selling, or the buying in this case if it's green. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If we go back to this trading view here, again, still holding these areas. So we'll see what we get. Are there any specific areas that you're looking at for like a potential upside move, Nick? You're like just short.
I think I'm
all
short
the
biased
pullbacks.
right now. I want to short it so bad. I feel like these are one of the days that we have a huge move overnight and the market reacts at the open and we just plummet another couple hundred points. And so I'm doing everything I can to not 15 mini short this on the house count. I'm kidding, Brett. I would never do that.
Struggle's real.
Yeah, but I do think that I personally think this is going to open and we're going to flush, if not a few minutes before.
Yeah, we're trying to fill those orders right now here on Bookmaps. 6,300. I think if that breaks, we'll probably see the 95s and then the 80s potentially. But yeah, those orders just got completely taken out.
Yeah, this is about the time the volume's going to pick up heading into the open. You'll see some of the smaller groups starting to kind of establish where they want to be and staking things out before the big boys get in. So you think we run down to 23K at the open there, Nick?
Oh, yeah. 23K, if not 22.
No.
Let's get the big pullback. I want that 5-10% that we were talking about yesterday.
He's like, give me a 1,000 point drop.
Let me be in it for the 1,000 point drop too. Don't let me watch it from the sidelines like yesterday.
Imagine getting a 1,000 point drop and then shorting the bottom.
Oh gosh.
Tough.
That's something that I would, maybe used to do. That FOMO when you watch it fall and you're like, oh, it's got to keep going.
Pull back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. So we are 4 minutes from the open here. Yeah, we're trickling a little bit down towards those session lows, which are down here at approximately 23,030, give or take. And we are ready for the open. So guys, it is time for the opening bell battle. So, little Nikki, can you confirm that's you boxing in the background of the video there?
Yeah, it's Nick and I.
Yeah,
we're just sparring. We're getting ready for the ultimate fight in the mountains.
Like, are you two fighting?
Yeah. Okay. Remember we talked about it before one time in the I don't even know what you call it, the background chat, the team chat. We talked about doing it. I think nobody was actually serious, but I think Nick and I would both. We would host a boxing match if we streamed it.
You assume he's not serious. I wouldn't make that assumption.
Yeah, Nick's a serious guy. I think he's
a very serious guy.
A very serious guy.
He doesn't wear colors. So yeah, he's a very serious guy.
Yeah. Where's my chick, Nick? That's funny. He's not jumping off from somewhere today. He's running a marathon or half marathon.
He's
moving a lot. He's just doing it on ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Many miles to go. Well, you used to run a few half marathons, right?
I've done one in May, and I've got the Chicago Marathon coming up, but I don't know. I did something to my knee, so we're gonna see how well I end up running, but I'm gonna run it for sure. I don't care if it's taking ibuprofen. I signed up for this shit. I'm gonna run it.
Yeah.
When is it?
October 12th, I think.
All right, I'll fly out and do it with you.
Oh, let's do it.
We'll get a whole
live stream it.
Yeah, we'll do a live stream from the.
I'll just be at the finish line with a cooler of beer. Y'all have fun.
Matt's just sitting there with like pom poms. Oh man.
We need somebody to cheer us on. I like it.
Yeah, Mr. T is gonna be drinking a lot of water today. Now we know why he had that shipment come in the other day. He was preparing.
Yeah, true.
Half.
Oh,
what'd you say?
Is running. October 5th. All right. We get a low pump at the open. I might wait like 5-10 minutes just because after a big move like this, I feel like Market open is always a little volatile. So maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I may try to take a short.
Just trying to get this hold here of 300. Got about 40 seconds until the market opens here.
Up is interesting. You think there's a chance that we open and just retrace this whole overnight move?
There's always a chance.
Oh man.
I do hope we get a pullback. I would like a pullback.
All right, guys, we are
watching.
10 seconds away from the New York Open. Let's see what this shit show of a market has in store for us today, guys. You know what time it is.
Oh, let's go.
Ding, ding, motherfuckers.
Throw the 1 second chart on. Sometimes when I feel like I know I'm not really going to be trading, I'll throw the 1 second or 5 second chart on just for the stress. It's so chaotic watching this chart.
Yeah, this is nuts.
Stress anybody else out?
Not much of a movement so far. Very, very quiet.
A lot more, a little boring.
I know.
Thought we were gonna get a pretty drastic move.
In 30 seconds, chill the fuck out.
Well, usually we'll see like a crazy pop.
Yeah, this is a really tight range. I hope we don't just sit in this range. Oh, here we go.
I know.
Oh, that would be really sad if this just flushes right here.
I know. I really hope it doesn't. I would like a pullback. Oof.
Or it could just be one of those Fridays now where we sit in a 40-50 point range.
Oh God, you said it.
I know.
I mean, there's volume here.
NASDAQ trying to hold the pre-market lows here. ES still hasn't gotten down there, but breaking 300 is not looking good. Trying to hold.
Wow, it's like 1 minute candles are crazy.
I'm not even looking at the 1 minute.
I mean, it's just like a perfect little bar
Yeah,
start.
I see that.
If this one goes straight back down to 40 and we start forming these little stupid 1 minute barcodes, I'm not trading today.
Man. I might try an intro short here and get in.
Good.
I'm trying the 95s here on ES. All right, I'm in.
Nice.
There's that flush. Good timing.
I want to see if we can see the 80s. That'd be great. I'm going to set my stop to, screw it, I'll have 10 points on this. I want to see us flush to the 80s here.
Now we're getting that sell off.
Well, still could hold pre-market low. Wouldn't want that. I think if we get the flush below 23,000 on NASDAQ, I think it'll help pull ES as well.
Here it comes. Stacking orders at 010 and 23,000. 400 contracts on the board at 010 on the NQ.
I didn't take it on the house account, but I scalped from like 65 down to, where did that just close?
You said the 65s?
Wait, hold on. Let's see, look at my orders here. Oh, 54 down to 30. A couple minis.
All right, let's go.
I couldn't help myself. The short just
He's like, I had to do it.
I'm mad that I'm not still holding it because I still think it's going to keep going, but I do not like those first couple barcode 1 minute candles.
Yeah, ES still looks good here. If we can get the flush below the 90s, I think we'll move to the 80s here.
I need to start trying ES.
See, you guys, I told you I'll trade ES today, and I'm doing it. I'm trying it. I don't want to see us hold this demand zone, though. That's the only thing. I want to see us get the move down.
Ken, we are about 60 subs away from 18.4, but that target has now moved to 18.5. If you read between the lines, we'll figure it out.
See if we get the continuation here.
Haven't
This is the level that I'm looking at here, guys.
Haven't been able to get through 23K yet.
Yeah, we literally bottomed at 23K. So we need to find continuation below that.
They did take out those 400 contracts at 010. That was not they did not pull that order. That order got filled.
Yeah,
almost 300 contracts on the board at 23,000.
Let's see. All right, starting to get some selling coming in here. I want to see the 80s. I really want to see the 80s here. Ooh, getting a snap on that on NQ. I'm going to move my stop to 300. And hopefully we just continue from there.
This little pop through 23K. Oh, I wish I held.
I think we have some room here on ES.
That's all right. You made some money. Don't coulda, woulda, shoulda yet.
Oh, I'm so bad at coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'll tell my friends or family and be like, yeah, okay, I did fine in the market today, but I could have made like 10 grand.
Well, technically, every day you could have made 10 grand. You also could have lost it.
That's true.
Nice.
I just moved my stop, guys, to break even a little below to the 94s. So we'll see if we get this flush here. I want to see the 80s. I really want to see 80 clear. I think if 80 clears, we'll get room down to that 70 area. But we're in the profits so far. This will basically be a break-even trade if we can't get this move down.
Hey, Jose, taking your first golf clap. Golf clap, Jose.
Hell yeah, Jose. Let's go. We need a money gun.
I know, we need a money gun.
Evals. Hell yeah.
23,000 trying to hold here on NQ. ES also trying to hold the 84s.
Big pop.
Oh, all right. I'm going to get taken out here if we don't hold below 95.
You're risk off on that trade, aren't you?
I am, but...
I know, it still sucks, but at least you're risk off.
Yeah. I almost want to put it at 300 just so I don't get completely taken out, but...
You know, it's funny when you get a full stop taken, like, you know, there's emotions there, and you like when you go risk off and then it hits you, you have that like glare of stern disapproval. It's like,
yeah,
I'm not mad,
like
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Especially when you see like you were up like, 1,500, 1,400 on that trade.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well,
painful.
I tried.
Have either of you guys ever experimented just putting ticks on your chart in terms of P&L as opposed to actual profit?
I like seeing the money.
Of course you do. I'm sorry, I was asking the wrong individual.
Yeah,
Miriam.
Yeah, wait, maybe you should.
I
should let Miriam respond to that.
Yeah,
first.
you just should have. Yeah.
Miriam, you put ticks on your chart.
Ask me that question again because I wasn't really paying attention. You said take ticks?
So, like on your chart, where the P&L is. Like I don't know. I'm assuming Tradeify does this as well, but TradingView, you can set it so your actual P&L does not show the dollars. It shows ticks.
Oh,
Like you're
yeah,
up
yeah,
30
yeah.
ticks or 50 ticks, etc., etc. I can pull up the paper at some point on TradingView and give you an example. I just didn't know if you knew what I was talking about.
I have that on TradingView, but not on Tradeify.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I don't use
I don't know
Tradeify
if you
much.
can
So I
do
don't
it
know if
on
there's a way to
Tradeify.
do that.
Yeah, I don't know any way of doing that on Tradeify, but we'll see if we can continue getting below this pre-market low here. So far rejecting the 95s here on ES. NASDAQ also rejecting 23,031. So I want to start seeing us push down here to the 80s. I think my stop's in a good place. So we'll see what we get.
Yeah, they really teased your stop.
They really did. As they did yesterday. They did the same thing. Mario, if you're in here, yeah, I know you're my market maker, so I need you to help push this down. That'd be great.
Yeah, he never should have told us that.
I know, he really shouldn't have.
That was the market makers. Now we can just blame him for everything.
Everything. All right, let's see if we get the clear here of the 80s. NASDAQ trying to hold here. NASDAQ really trying to hold.
I'm almost tempted to, if we got another, that pullback was a good spot for a short at 23,030.
Moving my stop here to 90.
Oh, nice.
Surprised you're not degenning some evals right now, Nick.
But that, I mean, that's kind of the strat when you know you get the itch to trade. I'll just get a cheap eval.
When you pass an eval, do you print out your nice little certificate and frame it and put it on the wall?
I have way too many on the wall.
Put it on the wall. What is this?
Well, Miriam, some people.
No, I know.
Miriam
but
does not catch up with the
doing?
background chats, apparently. So
what do we? No, I know what you're referring to, but like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? All right. I might take a contract off here at the 80s.
Oh, insane trade.
All right, so took one off. I'm gonna leave another. I'm gonna just leave my stop here at the 90s. So I'm in 2 ES here, but I wanted to take some risk off in case we get the bounce here at the 80s. This is what I'm looking at, guys. I really want to see us really clear. This is where the wick fill will start. So I told you if the 80s get some traction, I think we'll get a nice move down. And then what I don't want to see us do is come back to the 90s and then retrace here. So just wanted to take a little bit of risk off.
That's it, Z. Z puts him on his Tinder profile. By the Miriam, catch up on the background chat. You'll get some explanation.
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to too many things right now.
My Tinder profile, that's awesome.
Oh my god.
I'm a funded trader.
All right, 70 or 80s cleared here. I want to see a flush into the 60s.
There is still much room to the downside here.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Awesome. All right, moving a stop to the 80s now. Actually, I'm going to move it. Yeah, I'm going to move it to 81.25.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I wish I held that short.
We show way more restraint than most people know that we do.
Actually,
I know we seem very off the cuff and we're, pushing some boundaries, but we show amazing restraint sometimes. Heaven forbid we all of us ever show up to this show with no fucks to give one morning.
Yeah.
It'll be the best and probably last show we ever do.
All right, took one off at the 70s. I am risk off now. I'm only in one. Currently up about 2,700 on this trade.
Nice trade. Good feeling when you've locked in some nice profit. Trade still going on, maybe some more room, but boy, you got it.
I'm telling you guys, ES is on days like this where we get the move, it'll give you a move. You just gotta freaking treat it. NASDAQ at a key level here. Okay, let's see if we can actually get the clear below 930. ES still has room. ES still has room to the 63s. So I'm going to be looking for us to get down there. My stop is currently sitting at 82. So we're about 10 points in a stop right now, but 10 points overall on a win on this trade. So I do like that. I just want to see the clear here.
Miriam, Jason has said you're the only adult among us. Clearly, he's not around for our background chats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a 33-year-old child that you're looking at right now. Oh, man.
On this show, we have the young and the young at heart.
Yes. All right, clearing those 30s on NQ. 75 now is going to be a key level for ES to break above. I see some sellers sitting there, so I want to see 63. These are one of those trades where I wish I held my
in the
full
background
position.
here, Nick. I'm printing out the certificates right now.
Oh yeah,
right here. Yeah. I mean, I
frame
just,
every single one.
That's it. No, I'm just gonna get rid of the pictures of my fiance. No, I'm just kidding, baby. I'm not moving your pictures.
Take it.
But yeah, I'm gonna put eval certificates back there.
Oh man. All right, let's see if 63 hits here. I'm gonna move my stop pretty tightly now. Boom. Let's go.
Nice. Let's see if the chat wants
just
to
bleed out. Just bleed out.
Just bleed out. Go to zero.
It took those first couple of minutes, and then the Bears just said, "Bitch, please."
Yeah. I'll see you at zero. That's what the Bears said.
Are we down like almost 1,000 points in a day?
Mm-hmm.
In like almost a 36-hour period?
Yeah.
Insane.
Pretty much.
Is this it? Is this the big
down
pullback?
Almost 500 just from yesterday's close. So yeah.
63's hitting here on ES. I'm going to start to trail really tightly. I'm at 73 in profits now. We're about 20 points plus in profits from our first entry.
Man, the chat
that's like catching a 100 banger on the NQ. That's
it
impressive.
Feels like it. Yeah. It feels like it. 63s did, well, technically didn't get hit yet, but
PMI manufacturing coming in as expected.
Oh, is that what just came out? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's all right, Jose. I know we're desensitized to big move, but we're day traders, man. We want big moves. Like I know this, like moves like this, big, even big up moves, big up and down moves piss off the fund managers. We freaking love them. Can't get enough.
I mean, I would have been sad if they had stopped me out at the 95s and then continued to make this move. That would have
been. If
they
had done that, you would already be on a plane to Chicago to go whoop somebody's ass at the CME.
Literally, yeah.
That's an IRL stream there, Nick. Miriam tries to break into the CME building. She's looking for her market maker.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You're not far from that. They're right there. If you're in River North, they're right near you.
Oh yeah, I see the building from my place.
All right, just got stopped out of that trade. 2,800 on that trade. Nice banger. I think we still have more room. I think if I set my stop at the 75s, I think that would have been good.
Jason, you're right. I'm taking full credit for this. I'm absolutely taking full credit for this. But Nikki said it too, man. We desperately wanted a nice pullback, right?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Wanted to see it. I think we're finally getting that. And if we want to be so ballsy to say that the bull run is over, then I will go ahead and say the bull run is over.
I didn't see the poll come in. I would have held it. I would have held it for you guys.
I mean, the chat wanted to see it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have held it.
Give I really do think that what they want, Miriam. Come on.
I fucked up. I'm sorry. My stupid $2,800 trade. Damn it.
Yeah. How dare you make a lot of money on a trade?
God. I still like this as a short. What I really should have done was keep my stop at 75. That's where I saw the sellers. So yeah, I did hold on to, or I did put my stop a little too tightly there. But I think the 63s, if we clear the 63s, I think we have room down to the 40s. But man,
Z wants you to re-enter.
What's that?
I
You want
will
to
tell you,
re-enter.
just from a big perspective, macro perspective, I want to see another leg down. I would love to see us get like in that 5 to 10% correction range. Not necessarily from a day trading point of view, although I'm assuming to get down there, we'll have some fantastic moves to get there. But I want to reload the options to the long side. Like I'm going to be. It's probably not coming for a week or two, but I'm going to scout the bottom of this. So I actually took T-Trade's course on those reversal candles, and so like I'm seeing them everywhere now.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no longs right now. I can promise you that.
No longs in sight for me. Let's see if I do want to pull back. If we get a pullback, I will short that pullback as well.
And the thing is with this pullback, I mean, I've been watching the ES. I know you have. I've been watching the NQ, but it's again one of those like slow, steady. I know it feels like we're just cracking lower and lower, but this has been a slow, steady sell-off. This has not been them running a ton of stops. This has not been the algos jumping around and playing games. This is big money in there selling right now. Now, maybe they're just reducing a little risk. Maybe we stabilize here or slightly lower. But if the big firms are deciding we're done for now, we could have another 5% down.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if we retest the 63s here.
Hey, Six, better to wish you were in a trade than out of a trade, man. Don't get too, if you identified the move, even if you didn't trade it yet, that's half the battle. So just take a little comfort, a little solace in that. I know it sucks. I know it doesn't feel good right now if you miss a big move, especially when you saw it coming. But just if you followed your plans, then ultimately that's it. Remember we talked about that with Coach Tank yesterday. So process over profits.
I like that.
75 still has some key sellers sitting there on ES. Still a good area to keep a stop if you caught this move. Let's look at NASDAQ real quick. NASDAQ, I would say, well, still some area at 900. So you got about 20 points there. Yeah, 63s are still acting as resistance here. So, oh, am I not showing this? There it is. You can see here ES 63s, and then I think, yeah, the 75s, I mean, we're all the way up here talking, but the 75s would be the next area of resistance. NASDAQ really fighting at this next demand zone. Demand zone starts at 22,857. So, we could possibly, and it's a 4-hour demand zone, but this one's also not a fresh zone. You guys can see here on the 4-hour, we did have, this was the original area that we had made this zone on, but you can see on the 16th of July, we made a nice little tap into this demand zone, got a nice push up, and then now we're coming back into it. So we could actually make a lower or a higher low here, retest some areas, and then come back down. ES is bouncing at the 60s here, so keep in mind this might be a potential I don't want to say reversal. I don't think it's a reversal by any means, but maybe like a little retest here, and then we continue lower. 860s are on watch here on NASDAQ. Are you in anything, Lil Nikki?
No, I'm not. Wish I was. Not. I won't be re-entering. As much as I will be incentivized to re-enter, I'll probably just sit the rest of this out. Yeah. Even though we are just holding the downtrend, and we'll probably continue to do so.
He sounds so sad, Barry.
I know. I
still made some cash this morning, but it's hard watching that move after being in it.
Yeah.
With a few minis on NQ. I think I do.
Okay.
I think I need a hug. I need to play some Halo.
Talk some shit.
Yeah, talk some shit. Yeah.
You're good.
Well, when the shows when we roll you off in a bit, we'll have your fiance bring you your controller and your banky and your cloak.
Oh man, that's
man,
great.
We're just...
The only thing that can console me.
Yeah, this sell-off is not holding back.
It's like it's
240s.
the inverse of what we've been seeing over the past few weeks of like every
Literally.
dip gets bought up.
Literally. Yeah, I've been saying that too. Like I
Yeah.
know one of the days, I think it was on Tuesday, we had a nice sell-off as well. Which I didn't catch and I was really sad about because every single strategy that I play happened on that day. But I was just so nervous to short because I was like, we've literally been buying every single. I was the girl that day fishing for longs when everyone was shorting. Like that was Tuesday for me. And so now I'm like, you know what? Bears are in town and I'm joining them. So this is nice. I mean, this is essentially what I wanted to see happen today. Break of the 300s on ES was key, and then the 80s were really where I wanted to see the flush, which is what we got. The 63s were the next area. Now, you know, the 40s are going to be key. So I want to see us flush into the 40s. The wick actually technically started from 280 and it ends at 240. So this is an imbalance that we technically have to fill here. So we'll see what we get. But again, we are coming into this demand zone on NASDAQ. I'm on the 4-hour here just to show you guys what I'm looking at. But if I go to the 1 hour, you know, you can see it a lot clearer. We have this area here all the way down to pretty much 800. So it's kind of like this 80-point area that we have to break into. ES looking like it's putting in a nice little bear flag pattern here, which I am tempted to actually short again. I think this actually makes a little bit more sense because if you do short, you know, say if we get closer to like 70s, maybe 68s, you could short and then have your stop at the 75s. I think that would be a very, still a very good trade. But do I do it? Do I do it with one mini? I don't know.
Kind of want a little bit. I'm the wrong person to answer that question for you because I'm
like,
going to be like, hell yeah, send it.
Yeah, right to the 67s right there. It would have been a good potential short. I mean, you would have to set a stop pretty much about 7-8 points, but I think, like I said, there's so much room to the downside. I think we could start to hit.
Maybe I might take something on the house account.
Motion Arts asks, can you tell me what imbalance you're talking about? So if I zoom out to the 1 hour here, let me just show you guys. So this area, the 280, this is what I was talking about. This is the imbalance that I'm referring to. You see this candle here that we put in on July 25th. This is a 1 hour imbalance, okay? When I talk about an imbalance, we're talking about areas where we had strong buyers, right? In this case, strong buyers really hold a certain level and push it up. You can see on the 1 hour here, there's a lot of you know, potentially unfilled orders that are still sitting here. So when we talk about imbalances, we talk about gaps, we talk about wicks, we talk about just strong movement from a certain area. And so we would be considering from a technical standpoint that this could potentially get filled, right? We could potentially start seeing price come down into this area to fill the rest of these orders that are still sitting here. So that's what I'm looking at that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about, you know, wicks, imbalances, gaps. This on ES seems like a really good area to come back down to. Again, if we start just rejecting these key levels, right now 75 is really a key level on ES. If we can reject that, I think we still have more room to the downside.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one thing, guys, and I think Miriam showed a good example there of this, is that if you're in a move like this and you're, you know, worried about catching a lot of it, or maybe you have a history of, you know, getting out of trades for 10 to 12, 15 points profit and things run from there, scale out, right? Like, you know, if you're trading, that's why I know people talk about commissions, this, that. Instead of trading 2 minis, trade 20 micros and scale out in 5s, right? You take 10, you know, it's not financial advice, I'm just spitballing here, but say you take, you know, 5 micros off for a 20-point profit, and then 5 for 30. And again, you're keeping a little skin in the game, but you're booking some profit. I have a rule when I scale out, the first time I scale out, so usually if I'm doing, let's say, if I'm trading position personal account, will be 3 minis. And so I will take sometimes 1, sometimes 2 off. And when I do that, my only rule is I don't take a loss on the remainder, right? So if I take 2 contracts off for, let's say, a 30-point move in the NQ, my stop probably be 30 points, probably be above break even, but I will not let that last contract go red on me. But it gives you that chance, and it doesn't it doesn't happen maybe as often as we'd like, but every now and then you catch something that last contract will make you more than the other ones combined. So if you don't have a lot of experience in scaling out, I recommend it's something you try in either a low cost eval or on paper. But it's something that was kind of game changing for me. Typically on stream here, I'm just doing one mini, but I've made a good amount of money trading either 20 to 25 micros and scaling out, or three or four minis.
Man, I think this bear flag is setting in really nicely. The 68 level was actually pretty nice. I didn't take the short, but I'm kind of wishing I did.
Yeah, this is looking nice.
Right at the 68 that I was telling you guys about.
PMI though in a minute. I think somebody just mentioned that.
Oh, good point. Thank you.
Actually, I don't know who.
Yeah, ISM manufacturing PMI coming in 30 seconds.
Maybe we'll have to straddle this on the house account.
Motion RTs, we're talking about orders we're talking about like big banks, right? Big institutional orders that could still be sitting there. Us retail traders are not moving the market. These are big institutional orders that have been sitting there for possibly weeks at this point, that are still looking to get a bid on.
Oh, holy shit!
Oh, okay. Oh, man, I wish I took that short.
Why you always clear your orders before news?
All right. Right into this demand zone here on NASDAQ. See 850 here get cleared. I think anything below 800 is shortable.
Guys, EC talking about circuit breakers. We're nowhere near circuit breaker level yet. So if we hit a circuit breaker, we got bigger problems than whatever's going on in the market. I was in New York on the floor of the money show the day we hit the circuit breaker going into COVID. That was wild. That was Monday.
Sure, yeah.
Monday after.
Wow.
It was, so we had gone to it was a company I was working for at the time, and we had a booth at the money show, or excuse me, it was the Traders Expo. It was one of the big ones they do every year, and we got there on Saturday. So we had presentations, and we were doing talks and roundtables and Q&A on Saturday and Sunday. And we came into Monday, and I remember I was in my room, and I had horrible cell reception in my room, so I couldn't look up anything online. And they wanted to charge for Wi-Fi. Boy, look at this thing that we're moving down there. 800 on deck, guys.
See if the 40's clear. I'll look to take shorts here on ES as well. That will give us the wick fill, but I think we got some more blood. We got some more blood if we clear.
But anyway, so I turned on the TV, and God help me, I was watching Jim Cramer, and like Cramer's talking about like, are we gonna go 50% down? Well, we almost did over the course of quite some time, right? One of the few times he's been right, but it was wild. And so we go down to the floor, and the expo floor, and it's like there's all these traders that have been there, or companies that like nobody knew where the circuit breaker was. Everybody had to look it up. And of course we did hit it. But yeah, it was wild. And then we flew out later that night, and on Thursday, I believe it was, they locked down New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
This was in 2020. This was the week before the COVID lockdowns. This was right when like the markets were like, oh, this might actually be a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the market was basically like, oh, you mean entire sections of the economy are shut down indefinitely? Go down.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah. That was when tech took over, man, because it was tech that led us back to new all-time highs, and they've basically been, them and the Mag 7 now running things pretty much full time.
Wow. Okay, let's see here. I would like a pullback, but I'm kind of thinking that we might get a hold on ES here at the 35s, maybe even 33s. This was a beautiful technical bear flag. I mean, this
really was.
Wow, that was clean. That was clean. If you guys took that, that was a clean setup. Let's see if we can clear the 800s here on NQ. We did get that low, 800 low put in.
Flirting
yeah, literally
with,
800 to the tick.
Flirting with a 2.5% down here, guys. All right, so Michigan consumer sentiment came in as expected. Construction spending came in soft. Inflation came in just a tick above what was expecting. So not actually huge news across the board, but just some more data points.
Like I want to short these little pullbacks. The only confirmation I have is that I want to short because I want to short.
Yeah, the 800s are holding literally to the tick. 800
Yeah.
held. I think we need to wait for this next candle to open here.
The low of the candle is exactly 800.
Yeah.
This 5-minute candle
don't have a sense of humor. Well, guys, we obviously have plenty to talk about in the markets, and we will continue to look at these and break these down. But we're calling today Freestyle Friday as well. Since we're down a host, as we move into later in the show, guys, feel free to ask any questions. This is a good opportunity to get your trading-related questions answered. Miriam will answer all questions truthfully, and I will be a smartass for everyone. So just kind of how we do things here.
Yeah, let's see. We might get this hold here. Still bearish in terms of until we can get back above the 75s here on ES.
That is a big deal, though, that it stopped right at 800.
Yeah.
So that's that now. I know it's just a one candle wick, but that to me is now support.
Yeah. Yeah. They're fighting here.
5-minute candle closure is pretty interesting, and depending on how the rest of the 9 minutes go on the 15-minute, I wonder if, not that this is the bottom, but we see a little bit of reversal if 5 and 15 minutes put in a hammer.
So
yeah, good luck on the long guys, because I don't know if they're coming in here.
Yeah. Motion asking about circuit breaker. So circuit breaker means, and somebody put the levels. I believe the first two are 7, 13, and 20. Yeah. So if I don't remember what it's actually based off. It might be the SPX, the index itself. But if the SPY or some derivative of the SPY hits a 7% down, trading is paused for what I believe is 15 minutes. Thank you, Sigs. I appreciate that. The next one, I believe it's an hour pause if we reopen and hit 13. And if we hit 20, they close the markets for the day. Now, I don't know that that's happened. I'll be honest, before my lifetime, I don't know how many times that's happened historically. The flash crash, I think, was close. There's been some odds and ends and a few limit up, limit downs in various instruments, but I believe it had been a long time, because we were looking it up when that was happening, since the markets themselves, the index themselves hit a circuit breaker, and it has not done it, I believe, since that initial COVID crash. So yeah, that's what that is. It's a chance for if the markets experience, there are limit up circuit breakers on certain things too. It's basically if the markets experience just a surge of volume or volatility in one direction, it gives a chance for the markets to pause, kind of calm down a little bit, reassess everything, and then they reopen. So we hit the 7% in 2020. I don't believe we ever hit the 13, and I know we didn't hit the 20.
Oof, 13 is crazy.
Insane.
What are you looking at, little Nikki?
Unfortunately, just nothing. It's me waiting to. I still feel like I still want to short. I just, in my head, if I'm done on my not house account with Tradeify, but if I took a position on the Tradeify house, I feel like I'm just chasing.
Yeah, well, ES is a lot weaker right now than NASDAQ. NASDAQ, like I said, holding that 800, I mean, you said it actually, Matt, is a big deal. Right now, the next level down on ES is going to be the 40s. So call it like even 39, but we might even get a bounce, like a little like volume tail into the 33s or 35s. But I would be looking, if we continue further, we're going to have some blood here. The 20s are going to be the next area of support on ES, and then call it like 6,200 really. just an insane move, like 50-point plus move since well, at least even since I got in. But we're really looking a lot weaker here on ES than Nasdaq. I think if Nasdaq breaks this 800, continues lower, we really could see the 600s. And I almost say that like sad for the bulls, because like, you guys did all this work to get us all the way up to these highs.
Oh, the smart money bulls have already taken their money. Don't feel bad for them.
Absolutely.
Don't feel bad for them. So I did look it up. We hit circuit breakers on March 9th, 12th, and 16th in 2020. So that March 9th. That first one was the day we were on the floor. I forgot we hit two more later that week, or one that week, one the next week. Yeah, it was wild.
This 15-minute candle is going to be, I know we just put in, we're almost at the initial balance here, but if we put in a nice like volume tail here, I think there's a good chance we're kind of sitting in between here. This is where I'm still feeling bearish on the day. However, bulls can really start to hold here, especially at this 800. So I think getting back above the 930s, we have room up to the 23,000s if we can clear the 930s on Nasdaq. ES still has some room. I wouldn't be convinced until we can at least clear 75, and then possibly make the move up to the 90s. But this is signifying a potential reversal, and then a move into 75. But still some consolidation here that we're kind of flirting with.
I'm not gonna lie, Miriam, I really resonate with that, because I kind of like the reversal play coming up. If this 15-minute closes with the down wick and semi, hammer candle, 5-minute closure is looking good. It's
I'm actually taking along right here, guys.
Oh, let's go.
I'm taking along, yeah. I think we got this is a little more of a dead cat bounce. My target is going to be 940 on this. So not a huge move. Stop will be a little below 900.
All right, let's go. Yeah, we've already held 100 points since we came to that 800 here. So
stop is going to be 885, a little below this candle. So could be a quick trade, but we'll taking a little shot here. I took this trade because I don't need a push above the standard dev band to get the full win, right? I would not, if I needed to get up here, I wouldn't have taken this trade, but we'll see. We got a little overhead liquidity. If we hold 900.
Yeah, I think if you get the clear above this 920, 930, I think it has room. I think you have a lot of room.
Mm-hmm. I'm not being greedy with longs today. I'm not playing for 100-point moves. If I miss a 100-point move, I miss a 100-point move. But this is not you can't, if you're going to trade against the trend, guys, you cannot be a hero.
Yeah, I'm actually, not to fade you, Matt, but I did just enter a short on the house here.
All right. Well, we can both win.
That's true. We could. I don't want to hold this too long, but kind of like the pullback here.
I will consider a short into the 70s here on ES if we get it.
The numbers changing so fast on Tradeify gives me anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always so fast.
Oh, you're funny. That's yeah, so right now, for me, I'd be looking for the 70s here on ES to potentially find resistance. The only thing is, in terms of a short here, I'm looking at the volume on Tradeify, and we did get a lot of volume on these bottom wicks, which kind of, again, I need to look at like footprints or whatever you might call it, but in terms of like the actual it almost looks like we had a lot of aggressive sellers but more passive buyers. And when you see something like this, you got to be a little bit more cautious on the shorts, because if we had high volume come in here and then, decently high volume come in here as well, you want to see a continuation of this move. Now, something that would start to make me think otherwise is if we start to do what we did yesterday. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about on yesterday. if we go back to what happened yesterday, right? This is where I actually went short. We started making these, you know, we had a nice volume tail come in, right, at the 400s on ES, similar to what we're seeing happen right now. And then look at these like consecutive candles that came in on the 5-minute, right? Nice, strong, bullish candles. But look at the volume. Volume was dropping, right? Especially as we were getting into this area right here. And this was a key area of resistance as well. And so, you know, we started seeing a lot of this. I'm sorry, this is actually not the area I'm looking at. I'm looking at this area. This is what happened. We got nice volume come in here. This is where I actually ended up taking the short. But you know, we ended up seeing that like we're decreasing on the volume. So I don't want to see that happen on this, right? Like I want to see the continuation if bulls are serious and holding this. And it might just be a dead cat bounce that you're talking about, Matt. But I do want to see us like get these nice volume tails really put in and then get the movement back up to the 80s. But if we reject the 75s here on ES, we might just continue lower from there. So gotta keep your head on a swivel. I can argue both sides right now, and that's where for me, I'm not taking a trade. I'm waiting to see what happens.
Fair.
Yeah, actually, I think they're coiling up to swipe us lower here. I was taking that as a shot at. I mean, I'm keeping everything where it is, but we needed to pump through there. Nick, I think you got a great entry on that short.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I
got to hold 900, and I do not like the selling wick on this candle here.
I know it's tough because if we break like a bull flag out of this, I do not want to get caught in like a 40-point move.
Keeps getting rejected at 27.
Yeah,
I'm literally watching orders spike. As soon as it hits 27, the orders slot in overhead and then disappear when we pull back. Boy, if nothing else, Bookmap will will show you exactly the games that are being played in this market.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see them. Those rats.
Sons of
damn rats. Yeah, these wicks to the upside on the 1 minute are pretty interesting.
We get through 30. I think I got my PT on deck, but we can't get through there yet. There we go. Come on.
What do you have your PT
As
set?
I said, we cannot get through 30. We absolutely cannot do it. Will never happen. Ever, ever, ever. It can't do it. It's not going to go any higher.
There you go.
Absolutely cannot do it. Come on, you son of a bitch. There's my PT.
Nice. Is that the trick? Is that what we got to start doing?
Shit talk your own trade, apparently.
Oh, shit.
And guys, normally I would be upset if we run up another 30, 40 points, but this was such an anti-trend trade. If it runs 200 points to the upside, I promise you I will not be mad. In fact, at this point, I'd look at it for a short. If you're still in, Nick, I think it might look good.
The 50s.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dude, if we both win on this trade, that's fucking legendary.
That would be really great.
Little Nicky, you just have to hold. Just hold it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, sometime in the next few years, we'll be down here again. So it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see 950s are gonna have some resistance here. If we can clear the 950s on NASDAQ, I think we have some room. Still the 75s here on ES that I'm looking for a potential short here on. Only thing is, I don't like my swap on
the
ES.
win. That's not horrible. I'll take that. It was only one contract.
Let's go, Matt. Good job.
That was big.
Great job on this trade.
Would be my stupid ass going long on a day like today. As soon as Nick got in short, I was actually thinking, oh man, this actually does look kind of good for a short.
All right, clearing the 50s here. ES right out to the 75s. Let's see if we can clear. We have room to the 80s if we can clear that.
You know, Nick, if I end up winning and you end up losing on this trade, don't worry. I'll sell you my $10,000 course.
Let's say we basically just hedged.
Yeah, that was basically what we did.
It's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah,
well, you don't. If this doesn't work, the only reason is you don't have your cloak on.
Yeah.
Well, if I had the cloak on, I might be adding into the position.
Yeah, tough.
Don't want to get crazy.
What's your stop on this, Nick? No
Mental stop. I just kind of want to see how we behave around here. I mean, if we keep making a strong push, then I'm going to close this. I want to go.
80s or 75 starting to fill here on ES. Next stop is the 80s. This will be about a 50% retracement if we do clear the 80s. However, this will be a potential rejection area on ES as well. So just be mindful. Let me just make sure that I'm right on that.
The -1 standard deviation line is coming in at about 920 to 922. So that's, if this candle closes below that, I think we flush back down to the lows. If this candle pushes up and closes above 950, I think that's we may see. I don't know if we're getting all the way back to VWAP, but we could have a little more upside room.
Yeah,
Literally
it's starting to
the
look a little
70s.
strong. Not a fan of the shorts right now. Oh yeah, Turbo. I have absolutely put a stop and then double my position. I have done that more times than I can count. It's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even worse is I've actually put a TP and accidentally double my position and then freak out and close it right away.
And then it runs.
And then it runs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a sign. I'm like, I would have been in like 6 minis on a short. That would have 100 points.
Oh, welcome to trading.
Yeah. We've all been there. Oh, I don't know. Okay. We need the volume, but I don't know. They're not convincing me yet. Get above the 80s and you'll start convincing me.
Yeah, these are like some quick moves to the upside. Again, we're putting in these like 1 minute. I mean, it's 1 minute, so it's not too reliable, but it's these wicks that I still like for a move back down. But
see if we can
20
get
is
the 80
really,
here on ES.
really talked about the longs after that 15 minute, and then I ended up switching and going short.
It's okay. I've done that several times.
I mean, I'm still not 100% convinced this isn't some kind of dead cat bounce and we don't move back. I don't know if we're getting the lows, but back lower.
Yeah,
I'm just not seeing again, the type of selling that we saw needs strong buying to overcome it. And I'm seeing some buying, but I'm not seeing, I don't know if you're seeing the same thing on Bookmap. I'm just not seeing the big orders hit the board and then fall. That's what you would want to see if you were switching bias to long and playing for a move to VWAP. You want to see 100, 200 contract orders hit the books, and you want to see them filled. You don't want to see the orders disappear as price action moves towards them. So, yeah, might be getting a little wicky on the 5 minute here.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking this for a short.
Right.
I'm kind of liking this for a short. All right. I'll take one here and then a stop at the 80s.
I like it. That's
Apple
probably
hitting lows right now. That's going to bring things down a bit. Yeah, Leah, marbles.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Do it, you rats. Dump it.
Man, if this turns out a win for you, Nick, you get the Diamond Hands Award for the week.
Seriously.
Let's fucking go. Lots of selling pressure coming in here.
Damn it, updating the P&Ls. I did kind of like the ad, but this is looking good for more of a dump.
Right at 900 now is the lower end of that -1 standard dev band. So there's if we can close a candle below that, we've got some room. 5 minute ATR is up to 45, guys. So if you're newly trading, watch your position sizes.
Marbles. lot of head faking going on here.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, we
geez.
confirmed the overnight down move with a further down move, and now it's like, okay, we've made our move. I clearly think some of this is profit taking, but then do the bulls step in, right? Do they,
Yeah.
once the sellers have kind of, made their move and covered their position, it creates an environment for the bulls to at least temporarily take over. If we push back to 23K, this is no longer a dead cat bounce. This is a change in momentum.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Gotta get above and hold it though. So
I'll probably close this trade if we start getting a push above. I know I have my stop set at 83, but I want to see them really like reject it here. Get the move down.
yeah, you don't only want to see them pull off the top a little short-term tops. You want to see a big seller come in. Would love to see a few orders hit in the 20, 30 points below us. Right now, there's not, at least in the NQ, there's not a lot on the books.
Need this 5 minute to close. Toppy.
Toppy.
Yeah, NASDAQ looking like it might start pushing here, but I kind of like ES a little bit more. Let's see.
There's a strong 5 minute close.
Yeah. 80s are going to be key here for ES to clear either to the upside or reject.
Kind of a double top on these last two 5 minute candles at the 70. You don't want to see that broken.
Give us the shove down. We need like a
This is
big
where I want to
name
see him
to
shove
sell
it
off.
down. Yeah, I want to see him shove it down here.
It looks like Nvidia was the one that rallied us to the.
Yeah,
that
Nvidia
move
also had
test.
a resistance zone though.
Nvidia, who says they want to replace every single one of their workers with AI.
Pretty much. That's actually facts.
That's so
Their
crazy.
stock goes, no, they've said that. Their CEO has literally said that, and their stock
Yeah.
went up because of it.
I mean, so
Wild.
not to go off on an AI tangent, but realistically, like, do you guys see anybody having any form of a job in the next like 40, 50 years?
I mean, yeah, because this is, I mean, the AI is the next thing. It's no different than the .com stuff in 2000. It's no different than a lot of other things. It's going to have long lasting and real implications, but it's also being fed by like VC tech bros who don't, I mean, listen, I use ChatGPT for a lot of things. Would I trust it to do it like a job for me? Would I trust, would I care if my doctor consulted it? No. Would I care if AI is getting diagnosis and issuing medication? Yes, I would. It just, it still makes just too many damn errors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking like the bulls want to step in here. I still have my stop set at the 83s, but probably going to get taken out on this. It's okay.
Yeah,
I size down on this play.
My diamond hands will end up having to sell here.
Oh yeah, I mean it is. See, again, those that were, I remember I was in high school when the .com bubble, popped, and a lot of the predictions of that early era, some have come true, but a lot haven't, right? And sure, now the internet and every website in the world is a huge part of our daily lives, and as AI will be as well. But there was also a lot of pain points within there in terms of figuring out good use cases and all that. It's a great thing. I mean, it's very helpful. I can tell you for a lot of the stuff I do and have done in terms of content generation, things like that. And but it's not a be all end all for routine jobs and for things that are very if A then B, yeah, those jobs are probably in trouble long term. But there's a lot of jobs that involve, a little more of a reasoning, a little more of a human element that I think aren't in danger of being replaced anytime soon, right?
I unfortunately closed, and if it starts to reverse, I will be very upset.
Yeah, it's not looking great. I still have my stop sitting there at the 83s. I think if they flush that, then, or push through that, then obviously that'll invalidate this long. technically still not invalidated for me, so that'll be my invalidation point on ES. Technically 85s, but I don't want to take too much of a loss on this trade.
It looks strong. They're just making green candle after green. They were really just retracing this morning's move with the same strength.
Yeah, every time these sellers try to step in here, they get taken out.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting. It's not like, again, this is not as strong a move up as I would think it would need to get where it has. But this has been a unusual move down and unusual move up, in that, well, I guess you say it's more usual. It's just not usual in the last couple of years. Especially the last 6 or 8 months, but especially the last year or two, every move seemingly has just been, very, very herky-jerky, very, like the algos take us there. The sell-off today and now this bounce off the bottom are, I think, driven very clearly by big money, right? Because it's nice, it's slow, it's steady. There, big money's not going to throw in. We see these orders on the board, sometimes 100, 200 contracts, sometimes a little more. Big money, like really big money, is sometimes playing in terms of thousands, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they're not going to be just put that order on the board, right? They're going to be filling it in 20, 30, 40, 50 order increments over the course of a lot of time. And I'm not saying that's what happens every time you see this, but if you're watching an area on a chart that just sort of bounces within a few ticks a little bit and then makes a continuation move, sometimes that's just the big orders, getting a couple hundred contracts there, then getting a couple hundred, so it's slow, steady buying as we move up. And now, as the cautious thing is, like I've said, in futures, you go into the options market and the stock market, big money is smart money. Almost exclusively. Futures, not necessarily. Sometimes the big money is not smart money. So just because you see a gigantic order on the board doesn't mean you can. And I will tell you, Miriam, the markets have always adjusted to the tools that are out there, right? Like I remember when I first started using Bookmap 5, 6 years ago, every time an order on the NQ of 400 or 500 contracts, like that was a money strategy. I don't care if it's 200 points away. You place an order to hit that. Not so much anymore. So big money better at covering their tracks, both in options and futures.
Oh, they be knowing. I did get stopped out on that trade. I still feel like this might be, I'm not going to re-enter this, but 85s on ES looking like they might want to reject. They might have taken me out here and just are going to completely dump it here, but definitely looking for the 85s to hold as resistance, which we really almost just came up into. However, it's hard to say too, because I do see these bulls really stepping in. It's just getting this push above 85, I think will hit us into the 94s on ES. NASDAQ looking a little bit stronger here on the 5-minute. Both futures look strong, but I think in terms of pre-market low sitting here on NASDAQ at 23,030, and then you have VWAP at 23,054. And then you pretty much have the open. That's what I see. So if we can clear 85 here on ES, again, this is where I would be looking for us to target.
If this thing comes off the lows on 5-minute candles with no red candles and goes straight to VWAP, this market could just go fuck itself. Seriously.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and I even caught a portion of this move, but no, it can absolutely just go fuck. Bodie had a great question. Where does the skill to hold the trade so long yesterday come from? How long did it take you to get there? Herky-jerky motion makes me protect too soon. Yeah, Bodie, that's sort of holding trades to TP is kind of one of the final bosses of trading, right? Where you don't, and honestly, it's you put in the work for a trade before you get in it. We don't always have time to see us enter and set everything up right away. But in general, when I'm entering a trade, I will enter the trade. The very first thing I'm going to do is set my stop. 99% of the time, I know exactly where that's going to be before the trade even fills. And then you go put your, adjust your PT accordingly. So honestly, I wish I could tell you there was some magic trick to it, but it was, I set my stop, I stuck to it, I set my profit target, and it is what it is at that point. When I'm in a trade, most of the time, you just saw this, I had my profit target set and my stop loss set. The work is done at that point. I have nothing left to do. My hand's not even on the mouse, right? It's going to go where it's going to go. And I've worked with a number of traders in this over the years, and I will tell you something I've actually done before, especially when I was new to the futures and still like learning to trust myself. I will get in a trade, I will set my stop loss, I will set my profit target, and especially if it's in like an eval or funded account where it's not my personal account, I will walk away from the trade. I have literally, in fact, there was, if you guys recall, there was a trade. It was like our second week of the show, and I got into a trade like 5 minutes left because it was a juicy setup. And I set my profit target. I set my TP. I told you guys exactly where that was going to be. But the show ended. And so what I did is I set alerts on TradingView to ding my phone if either one was filled. And I took my dog for a walk. I joked, and this is not me making a punchline. This is a God's honest truth. My profit target hit while my dog was taking a dump. So it was, he plops and drops, and my phone dings. It was just like that. So I just walked away from the trade. And I don't always recommend that, but if you can't help but mess with your trades, then maybe that's something you need to do. I would never advise that in a personal live money account, because sometimes things can go wrong or an order doesn't get serviced right. It doesn't happen often, but you don't want to take my dog for a walk and come back down $7,000, right? But especially because most people trade Tradeify accounts here. You're in evals, you're in sim funded. I know a few of you are even live. Make sure your orders are in. But that's one reason I love TradingView. It's not the most robust platform. It's not the best to trade through, to be honest. But I love the fact that I can set alerts on there, and they'll ding on my phone. And there's usually less than a 1 second delay in that. I've tested it. So you trust the work that you put in. Is the short answer to that, Bodhi, after rambling for a little while. You put in the work to know what works, know what works for you, know your setups, know your system, and you just trust in that work. It's easier said than done, I know, but you'll get there.
Fire. TP hitting when your dog's taking a dump is great.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
That's funny.
And the alert you just hear the ding. So I didn't know and it had been like 15 minutes. So I didn't know if it was profit target or stop loss there. I said, either way, I'm about to have a great story.
Well, it sounds like both of you are satisfied on that day.
Yeah. I think I told him, Max, you just took an $800 dump.
I love it. Oh man. All right. Well, we are coming into that. We did clear 85, but starting to find resistance here. NASDAQ finding resistance at this 23,000. So do we get the reversal here? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Tempting.
Yeah, I think we might get a little move down into, let's call it like 76 on ES and then 83s. But at this point, I would expect bulls to continue this further. So if they don't do that, all of this was completely wasted.
Yeah. Nvidia just rallying.
Yeah, Nvidia's going. I was just looking at that too.
Oh.
Wow. What a move on Nvidia. Tesla also had a really nice tried to break this 300 area, got a nice tail, and then moved back up. Now we're sitting at 305 on Tesla. Pretty much everything recovered. Except for the indices so far. Everything's recovered back to their open. Meta, Tesla. I didn't look at Apple yet, but Apple's just dying to zero. Apple's not doing very well. Apple's my worst performing stock in my long-term portfolio. And when I say worst performing, it's not like I'm down on it, but it's not doing so great.
Well, I mean, Apple ran the tech markets for a long time, and as you know, I mean, they've really hit an innovation wall. They really have. I mean, when was the last think of the number of groundbreaking products they put out over, a 10 to 15 year time period. You put out the iPhone, you put out where you had the last generation of iPods, you put out the iPhone, you put out the iPad, the Apple Watch is huge. They really, and to be fair, I'm not sure what's left to innovate, at least, that we know of right now. But, I remember for a time upgrading iPhones just about every year because there were so many new great features. Now, maybe every 4 years, something is I won't even use the term groundbreaking, but at least worth Plus, the Apple Intelligence thing just flopped
Yeah.
hard. And so they put a lot of marketing power in on that. And so they're Apple. They're one of the richest countries in the world, and they're pretty much are one of the biggest companies in the world. They're sitting on, I think, more cash on hand than like half the world. So they're gonna be fine. But yeah, when you lose when they lost jobs, the innovation really was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Cook is what he is, but he's a numbers guy. He's not necessarily an innovation guy. A lot of that team under Jobs, Ivy, and all those guys are long gone. So until the next generation comes up and is ready to take some chances, that Apple VR thing flopped. They're not on a good streak right now. I know their services are up. We always talk about how good Apple TV is, but that's not as huge a revenue generator as people buying $2,000 iPhones.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, do we get this dump here? Not able to clear the 85s just yet. I mean, we did open above them, but still getting that rejection there. NASDAQ rejecting 23,000. So do we get I would expect us to hold on ES. I would expect us to hold around the 75s. NASDAQ, pretty much where we're sitting. 970s, I would say if we clear 970s to the downside, I think we start to test the 930s. And then possibly make our move back down into this demand zone. We did get a nice wick though, so this might be the same sort of setup that we got in the afternoon, or pretty much right after we got off the stream yesterday, because this was essentially like what we were doing. So this is where we got to hold for more continuation higher. We do have a lot of sellers on Bookmap sitting on that 95, 92 area on ES. You guys can see
the 15-minute looks
here.
nasty.
Yeah, it really does. I was just looking at that earlier. Possible rejection here for more continuation to the downside.
Dooby. So how's the chat feeling today? How's everybody doing? You guys up? You down? Let's get a poll in there, Nick.
I feel like a lot sat on the sidelines and watched this move.
Well, like I said, better to wish you were in a trade than out of a trade. And to be fair, guys, there's no way to know that move was going to be another 200 points after the open. So you guys, that happens so often, or so it does. Start over. That doesn't happen that often. So like, it's something that happens even 20 times a year. You don't plan systems and strategies for something that happens that like everyone's. I got this, I know Nick, you've got your CPI strategy, but like FOMC strategy. Oh, and that's fine. And if you got one that actually works, that's great. But how many hours are you going to put in on a system for something that happens 8 times a year?
True. Unless it banks 8 times.
I mean,
a year.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having that, but that's 9 times out of 10. That's not going to be your only strategy.
It's true. No, it's definitely not, but it's a nice little launch pad.
Oh, we're going to teach you a little, DGen. Don't worry. Between us and Coach Tank.
I'll learn.
You gonna learn today. This is looking good. Potentially. If we get a clear below 75, I think we get this flush on ES.
How's our live traders doing this morning so far, Nick?
We can bring up the graphic, Drew, if you want to. I'm sure we had a fire day yesterday too. Definitely caught Drew off guard.
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew.
Drew's going through some things in the background right now. Nothing bad, but he's dealing with some moving and stuff. So we're patient with Drew today. Also, because we can't fucking do the show without him. So it's.
This is true. Yeah.
I would just love to see Lil DGen like Drew has to take a day off, just randomly, and Lil DGen just stand in front of OBS like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I would not be able to do that.
We'd be doing the show on our phones.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just attempted another short here at the 73s. 73.75 is my entry. I'm going to set a stop at the 80s though on this, and this will be my last trade if it doesn't work out.
You're on the boy. Look at you trading the ES today.
I'm telling you, I have a lot of unfinished business.
I'm not going to tell the NQ you're being unfaithful.
She already knows it. She already knows it. All right, gonna be targeting the 63s. So this will be pretty much like a 1-to-1 trade. Ooh, got a little quiet here on book maps.
You said your target is 63?
Yeah, on ES.
That's right at the -1 standard dev band, so probably a good target to have.
Okay, good to know.
Actually, 263 is literally the -1 standard deviation line.
NASDAQ would need to clear the 30s.
It is wild to get basically 30 plus minutes of green candles after the sell-off we just had.
Yeah, I know that was an abnormally long, like, bull run, if you will, after such a long.
Ooh, don't like this hold here. Need to reject the 75s. Yeah, I don't like this.
20-point move in 10 seconds.
I'm going to move my stop a little bit more to this 82.
Little D-Gen, how long have you been trading, like seriously trading?
Like out of my D-Gen phase, maybe like just about a year now, or like coming up on a year. On futures trading, I've done everybody's dabbling in options, but actual futures trading probably about a year.
Well, I just asked because I know we got a lot of traders who are similar to that. I was just kind of curious, as you get into kind of past your first year, we'll call it a year plus, since you did have experience before that, even if you weren't, like, what kind of lessons are you learning right now? Like, what over so far this calendar year, what would you say, like, this sticks out as the lesson that I learned the most?
Man, I gotta say, it's sizing small. Like, the biggest thing that has made me profitable over the course of this year is not going for the home runs. Okay, I mean, I know I say I go for home runs now, which I do, but
you play a character on TV. We get it.
Yeah. But I mean, I will say it's pretty heavy as of late. But starting out like the beginning of this year, it was sizing small so that I am so much more confident in a trade if I'm in even just 1 to 2 micros, knowing that my loss can be $50 to $100, even if I'm only making 50 to 100. When you're sitting in a trade, knowing that you have $2,000 drawdown or whatever it may be, and you're only risking like $100, it makes it so much easier to sit in that trade and not let the emotions creep in of, oh shit, like I'm gonna blow half of my drawdown on this trade.
Yeah.
So once I kind of locked in on the smaller sizing and was able to get my emotions under control when I was trading, it became so much clearer and maybe so much more confident in taking those larger position trades, knowing that it's more of a confidence thing than anything really.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, if you take a nice trade, like even today, I just exited that trade, by the way. I don't like the way that they were trying to hold that. But in terms of, your risk, like for me today, like making the trade that I made, I took a loss on both those 2 trades. So I'm like, you know what? All right, we'll just keep our wins for today. It's a Friday. But having sized down on those 2 trades significantly, because I did take a 3-mini position on that initial trade. And then, when you have some profits to work with, it's much more, you feel a lot better trying to take, the next couple trades. And So when you have like such a smaller position, you know, you're not looking at the losses potentially taking you out for the rest of the day. So this is where, you know, this is where we start to get a little bit more cautious of where we're sitting in terms of these levels though. You know, right now, like if you look at my trading view, we're still getting this rejection at 85. So I still like this for, you know, I didn't like the pop that we were getting. Unfortunately, I got wicked out of that trade, but I still like this for the downside, especially that we're getting this initial rejection here. I don't like potentially re-entering this, but it's looking good. It's looking really good.
Well, it's one of those things we've got
have like a 10+ point stop on that.
Forget the pre-market stuff. Just look, since 9:30, we've had a nice strong push down. We've had a nice strong push up. It appears we're heading maybe back down closer to lows now. But remember with each subsequent move, you can't really trust it as much as the previous, right? So I trust that bull run up a little less than I trust the bear run. And so if we start moving down, yeah, I mean, we could just be starting to make a series of lower highs and higher lows, if that makes sense, where we might be in the process of seeing a little bit of a pennant form on the 5-minute here. I would say if we push up from here, or if we get maybe one more bounce off 900 and form a higher low there and then run back up, and if we can't clear the 23.023 area, we could just maybe be in a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit of a range at that point. We are also getting close to moving. We're not at the lunch hour yet, but we're going to be moving into the lunch hour here pretty soon. So I would be careful with that as well. Volume does tend to dry up a little bit there.
Yeah, this 5-minute wicks, 15-minute wicks.
Yeah.
Like the short.
Well, keep in mind the type of where we see such a strong move down and a strong reversal move. Now, we've seen that a fair amount of times this year, but it's not as common as 2025 will make you think. And so after two conflicting moves like that, the markets need to kind of find some equilibrium before they make their next push, whether that's up or down. I think it'll be down, but I'm not convinced enough on that right now, nor do I see a setup that I want to short at this moment.
Yeah, this still looks really good for a short. Sad that I got wicked out of it, but it is what it is. I think 63s come into play here on ES. NASDAQ would need to clear 930s, which we're not too far from.
Yeah, Turbo brings up a good point there. It's very tough to not revenge trade when you miss a big move, right? Because we always think of revenge trading as you took a losing trade and you're getting, FOMO can turn into revenge trading very, very quickly. So there's probably, I'm sure there's traders out there caught the move down and maybe caught some of the move up. Probably not a ton of them though. So at least not without totally degenning both sides of it.
Man, what a takeout. I mean, even something like this, like same thing with like either missing a move or getting stopped out of a move that ends up like going in your favor. I don't know which one's worse. Which one's worse? Getting stopped out or not taking a trade that would have been a banger trade?
Probably the stopping out because you were in the trade. You had the fish on the hook and then it got away. And again, that's part of trading. There's not a person that has not, how many times has that happened to all three of us on this stream just in a couple months since we've been starting? It's going to happen. Yeah,
literally just happened.
Again, you can't let that turn. If you stuck to your stop and it was a good R to R stop, all right, then you can be pissed at the markets, but you shouldn't be pissed at yourself. But yeah, if you're, too much, people drag, and this is a problem I've dealt with too. People drag stop losses to break even or close to break even too quickly. You get stopped out, then it runs. You do have to give these things room to breathe.
Yeah,
I'd rather get stopped and have it just go another 100 points past my stop. So I'm like, oh, okay, the stop is good, and I don't have to worry about it. But when you get wicked, oh gosh,
yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun, but it's okay. It's the name of the game. This is looking pretty similar, not the same, but in terms of what we had yesterday, this nice downward move, got a hold at a key area, and then a 50% retracement, and then a move back down. And right now, you know, we could be squeezing. This essentially would be like the 263s would be where I would look for us to hold. We are coming into the 930s. I would even call it like 912 on the NASDAQ for us to potentially hold. But I think if we get closer into those areas, this whole hold that we got right here on ES and NQ at the 800s will be completely for nothing. Like it would be basically a replay of what we had yesterday happen. So that's not what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. I think who just mentioned chop. Yeah, Robin's mentioned it's chopping. I'm wondering if we also just end up sitting in this range now.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly.
Lunchtime in New York, we end up just chopping around in between this range now for Friday. I mean, after a massive move like that, wouldn't surprise me. But that'll be interesting to see what it sets up for next week.
I'd be curious just to talk to an old friend who I haven't talked to for several years, but I had a guy that was part of a trading group I was part of many years ago. I think I told this story early on in the streams, but he lived just outside of New York City on the route directly between Manhattan and the Hamptons. So as the crow flies, as they say. And so he could always tell us on Fridays when the volume was drying up because he could hear all the, as he called them, the hedgies, the hedge fund guys, helicopters, private helicopters going over his house on the way from Manhattan to the Hamptons. And so if that happened, like before the markets closed on Friday, we knew the volume was done at that point because all the big money was out. And I will tell you this, and that's not always actionable. It basically just tells us when to stay the hell out. But that was a 100% indicator. If he saw more than like 7 or 8 private helicopters flying out of Manhattan, almost exclusively at that point, the volume would just dry up across the markets.
Oh, wow. Huh. Man, guys, we are fighting at these levels. Yeah, I really hope we don't get the barcode. I know lunchtime doesn't start for another hour, though, technically in New York, but it is also Friday, so.
It's Friday. They could be hitting those food carts pretty soon.
Like, you know what? Let's just take that weekend day off right now. Let's just take it off.
Yeah, especially because kind of the last gasp of summer for a lot of people. I know, shoot, I when we were in school started sometimes late August, early September. Now they're starting early. I think some schools around where I'm at go back in the next week or two.
Sad.
Did you say sad?
Yeah, go back to school. Summer's over.
I loved school. I was like that weird kid that loved going to school.
What the hell?
I know.
Why does that not surprise me?
I like loved school. I would love getting ready for school. I would love like laying out my clothes the night before.
Oh man.
And like yeah, I loved it.
This is all you, Nick. I'm staying out of this one.
Did you ever share your homework with anybody? Were you one of those that
No, I never did that.
Oh man.
But I was like I was an A+ student. And I'll never forget it, even in high school. I'll never forget my statistics instructor. But I had like straight A's in all of high school. And then my last semester, I took a statistics class and she gave me like a B+ in it. And I was like crying because I went through all of high school like with straight A's and 1B would be
that's
standing
sad.
in the way of valedictorian. Yeah, I was a freaking nerd.
So I gotta say, Wildberry says that we're giving away anything. The price action is boring. What in the absolute hell do you think this is boring price action? I mean, maybe the last couple 5-minute candles aren't exciting, but look at your charts and tell me this is boring price action.
This is not
Holy
boring.
crap.
It's boring because I didn't short from the high overnight. Now I'm just at 23,300 down to 22,700 or 800. That wild. This gap down on Amazon is insane. Amazon just got destroyed.
Well, we did know their Prime Day did not go well. And I can tell you, I don't usually shop necessarily stuff for Prime Day, but you always put a bunch of stuff in your cart and see if anything's on sale. And there was just not a lot. I think I bought like one thing.
I don't think I got anything.
I didn't buy anything on Amazon Day.
Was it really just the concern over Prime Day and I guess 17% growth only.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, AWS, basically runs the internet, but like once you have that big of market share, there's not really much places to go but down.
Yeah, true.
Well, even, yeah, let's see. NVIDIA getting a little bit of a pullback. I think NVIDIA holds here at the 175s. If we don't hold NVIDIA, I think obviously the market will follow that, but 173s on NVIDIA is next. But yeah, some very mixed bag here in the mega techs right now. Tesla trying to make the move back. Meta starting to fight with possibly testing lows again.
Microsoft
Google
just free falling. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see Microsoft's earnings. That 512 to 565 is insane.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Wow. And that whole move just got retraced.
Right. And you're done.
And that was fun while it lasted.
Oh, now Meta or Microsoft has a really nice, like, I mean, it could fall down to fill that imbalance at 513, 500. So not great.
Hopefully whoever got option calls before earnings sold that at the open.
Oh, they would have been screwed on calls. Oh, they would have been screwed. Yeah. I've done options on earnings like only a handful of times, luckily, and I got lucky. I think only one of them turned out bad, but I got lucky on the rest of them. The thing with options on earnings is you have to be very careful with IV crush. Like even if you're in the money after the earnings come out, if usually those stocks will have such high implied volatility that even if you are in the money on that options call or options put, whatever you took, you're still losing money. So you almost need like a massive significant move and for that to actually hold in the open for you to capitalize on it. I remember trading Microsoft earnings actually once and it pumped like crazy and it actually held that move. I think I made like 400% on that, but that was like the last. I was like, you know what? I'm done playing earnings. It was scary. All right, we're starting to get this pushed down. We're starting to get this pushed down at 930s and we'll see if we get the move.
It's one of those things. If you're going to play earnings and options, I found, and I didn't do it a ton, but you got to really start establishing your position a couple weeks in advance before the IB spikes. If you have a solid fundamental thesis on the earnings, if you're just YOLOing it, then whatever.
Fair.
See if we get the clear 63s. I think we make new lows here if we start coming down below the 63s. There we go. There's that push I was looking for.
Would you end up taking a short if we start to make this push?
I don't like the entry. That's my answer. Just to sigh. It really is like, it feels disheartening when you had, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like having the right thesis on something is always a win, right? Like you had a thesis, you had, these levels, they did end up playing out. That's always a good feeling. It's not a good feeling when you're in the trade and you get wicked out on this one candle and then, it starts to make the move. That's not super great. But regardless, just being objective and trying to look at what you see in the markets. What is the market actually telling you? ES right now looks a lot weaker as it has been all day. NASDAQ really has a potential of bouncing here. Staying below the 930s, I think would start to move it back down to the, 850s. But right now, this is what we got to focus our attention on, is what do we see is happening in front of us from a price action standpoint, and then just trading that. But yeah, I'm not liking where we are at currently. Like I would have liked to get the entries exactly where I had it and then continue to the downside here. Right now we could possibly see a little bit of reaction. This would put in a nice trend line to the upside, but Yeah, it's one of those where you can argue either side at this point. I think once we start hitting the 50s on ES, yes, we have some room down to fill this wick and then possibly make new lows. But right now, bulls are really trying to hold. They're really trying to hold this.
Drew, if you want to bring up the leaderboards, we can go through our top 10. We got those updated yesterday.
Okay, take us through those, Nick.
Yeah, it's funny, I'm watching the actual stream, so you said that, I'm like, I don't see the leaderboards yet.
We're waiting.
Yeah, Marita's she's been on the top 10. She's I don't know if she's been trading actively right now, but she does have the biggest total bag of 162K.
Nice.
Which is
Wow.
insane. And then Muhammad right behind her with 157K. Some of these people have got live payouts. You know, we're seeing, like, if you go down this list, 30,000, 16,000, 30,000, etc., all the way down, and it's impressive. This top 10 leaderboard, you know, they've been back and forth with our risk managers, with Coach Tank. As you can see, some of them, their days live, like number 2 spot, Muhammad with 101 days live. That's impressive. That is so really impressive. You are in the market for 101 days. Like, so that's I think that's one of the biggest accomplishments with some of these live traders, honestly. Like, regardless of a balance, if you're in the market with this live account after having such a shift from the sim account, and you're in there for 2, 3, 4 months, kudos to you. Like, that's a statement.
That is huge. Yeah.
Well, it's why one of the reasons I tell people in terms of like making progress in your career. Sure, being in a live account for half of a year is that's awesome, but the steps you got to take to get there, and the first step is to just, if you're somebody who normally blows out evals in 3 days, try to make it 5, right? Then try to make it 8. Surviving in the markets on days that are not optimal to your trading strategy is key to staying in this game long term. I mean, we all want to catch these huge winners, and we talk about, you know, leaving it, you know, trail and trim and leaving a runner on. You can't do that if you're not in the markets. You can't do that if you don't have an account. So, you know, if you're just nice and small and steady, and I saw some of the average winners on that thing, you know, they're not huge. There's not people making $10,000 a day on there as much as you know, as Merriam has proven, you can catch a couple of really nice trades and get there. But it's you know, just stacking up small wins and taking that to payouts. You know, the person who had $30,000 worth of payouts, I'm sure that didn't happen in one trade. So, yeah, that's those stats behind that. And again, there's a couple people with some very high win percentages, but there were some people with win percentages in the 50s, guys. If you keep your R to R really, really good, 50% is all you need. You stay even 1.5 to 1, risking 10 handles in the ES to make 15, and you hit that 50% of the time, you're going to be passing evals, you're going to be taking payouts.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about win rates too. It's more about keeping your losses small and keeping your wins high. Like, I know we had Rake Trades actually on here a couple months ago, and he talked about that. He said, you know, I look for these bigger plays. And so he's willing to take, you know, a couple paper cuts, a couple losses, but potentially get, you know, a trade that takes him, you know, 5, 8, 9 R, right? And so, you know, maybe his win percentage isn't high, but his profits are much bigger than his losses. And so that's something that, you know, when a lot of people talk about win rate. Oh, what's your win rate? My win rate's 80%. Well, it doesn't mean you're technically a profitable trader, because maybe 60% of those trades you're taking heavy losses on, right? So be a little bit wary when people talk about win percentages and win rates. Yes, having a high win rate is great, but you got to look at the percentage of those losses. How much of those are big losses versus big winners? So that's just something to consider. But yeah, I think there's every trader, you know, to their own. I know traders that have really small win rates, but they're very profitable. I know traders that have high win rates, but they're not profitable. So, you know, you just got to take it with a grain of salt. We are trying to bounce here at 263 on ES. This is just going to be, I think this is just going to be our consolidation range. I could see us really just squeezing in this area. I did mark out this 30-minute supply zone on NASDAQ. I know we're a ways from that, but watch out for 23,068. We have this nice, you know, basing candle with some an imbalance candle right here that we got in the morning, and now we could just really be staying in this area right now. So we'll see what we got. 15-minute looks interesting. It looks like we want to dump on the 15-minute.
So Lil DGen, I think we're going to let you get back to your real job. We appreciate you joining us. Any closing thoughts for us?
No, hell of a week, guys. We'll keep it up, and exciting to see Tradeify TV coming out on top. So no, appreciate being on. Hope you guys all have a great weekend, and see you on Monday.
All right, take it easy, Lil DGen. Go put your cloak on.
All right, it's just us.
It is, yeah. We appreciate Nick popping in and joining us while other Nick is here. We met our Nick quota for the day.
Yeah.
So the show can't continue. Yeah, bogey trades a couple months ago. Time flies. It really does. It really does. So, and we have confidence in the product we're putting out in front of you, and you guys are responding. So again, we're very close to what we consider a very important internal milestone as far as subscribers go. And then we've got I've said it before, and you guys can clip this and put don't get it fucked up. We're coming for the top space in the prop firm world. We're coming for it.
Don't get it twisted.
Not gonna get there tomorrow, and that's okay. It's like a trading career, as I said many times. We've got to you can tell Lil DGen to turn his camera off in the background. It's following. It's very distracting. Come on, DGen.
Oh, he's funny.
He probably turned his speakers off too.
Yeah. Apparently his dog ate all his breakfast. So.
Yeah. Oh, he dropped his plate and the dog ate it. That's
tough day.
Yeah.
Welcome to Friday.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, guys. So we're going to be with you for the next hour plus. We'll see if any trades develop. We're bouncing off the -1 standard deviation band here in the NQ. Not a ton of liquidity on the board that's jumping out to me. Maybe a little overhead if we can get some momentum to the upside, but that doesn't seem to be where the play is at right now. In the meantime, guys, we're going to take this opportunity to answer as many questions as you guys have over the next hour plus. So throw those chats in, anything trading related. Yeah, you can ask.
Any charts you guys want us to look at as well, we can look over those. They don't have to be futures related. They can be, any of the common stocks as well.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up my stock charts here just a second. But yes, you can feel free to ask some smart ass questions as well. Just keep them perspective.
I also want to know how we did today. If we can get a poll up, I don't know if Nick or Drew, and I know Nick just went to go clean up that mess, but Drew, if we can get a poll up here, I want to see how many of us are green on the day, how many of us are flat. Maybe took a little red trade, but let's see it. I want to see.
Yeah, let's see. Coinbase is getting hammered today. Meta's getting hammered today. Meta down 2.6%. Wow, that gap and go on Meta is nasty. I gotta link all these charts, don't I?
Ooh, I just saw that on Meta too. That is nuts. Yikes. Oh. It had really good earnings too.
All right.
Ooh, lots of buying pressure coming in here on futures so far. Bookmap's going a little nuts.
Yeah, I see that. We're clearing some of those overheads at 950, 955, 60, and 65. They've stacked up a combination of about 200 orders at those spots. So it's going to take a little smacking to get through them. But if we get through those 23Ks on deck and then VWAP, I would not have expected a VWAP test before lunch with the opening 30, 35 minutes there. But something new every day in this market, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. They could just be chopping around here. Oof, man. All right, green, red, flat, or lizard. Pick your poison.
Lizard. Oh, hey, that's how you know Drew's doing the polls behind the scenes.
Yeah,
random animals moving to every poll.
That's for sure, Drew. Oh, man.
I'm catching up here. I'll try and catch up on questions here. Keith, I see. What do you do for technical analysis? Do you look at previous all-time highs for break and retest trend? Now, we've talked a lot about it in the last couple of weeks because we've hit a lot of new all-time highs. It's really hard to trade at new all-time highs. That's why, listen, I know we're able to make a little money on these pullbacks, and that's great. It's great. But like, I'm really looking forward to the next run, the new all-time highs. Maybe that starts Monday. Maybe it's next year. We don't really know, right? But I said a couple days ago, I wanted a 5% pullback. We're not there yet, but even just a 3 to 4% pullback, and if we stabilize and move back up, gives us opportunities. When we're trading all-time highs, the very definition of all-time highs is you're at a point in the chart you've never been before. So there's no overhead areas to watch for targets or resistance. Yeah, you can play with support on underneath or use previous all-time highs as support, but that gets tough, guys. And I know it's those that have come into the markets in the last few years are really mostly only used to markets that just scream to new all-time highs every week or every couple of months, but that's really not the standard in the market. So we've got it. Again, I remember hearing early in my career, somebody had taught, one of my mentors had taught me, there's 80% days and 20% days, right? Mm-hmm. Where 80% of the time the markets act a certain way. Right, they're mostly behaving themselves technically. There's a lot of okay, maybe there's news, but they behave a certain way. Today is a 20% day because it's a big outside the box move. We're spending a lot of time down at the -2 standard deviation. Most of the price action has come out of the outside of the 1 and standard deviation band, so that's 20% day. It's really hard to build, test, and deploy strategies for 20% days. Right. I mean, we can, ideally our strategies work in any market environment, but no strategy really does. So if we're going to get a particular type of day, 4 out of 5 days, those are the days we want to be building strategies for. So days like today are great. And, obviously Miriam caught a little on the way down. I caught a little on the way up. That's fantastic. But these aren't the days that are normal per se. So we're gonna trade what we trade. We're gonna watch our position sizes, keep our losses pretty short, and then we'll just be ready to deploy for the next 80% day, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Kevin said it. You make 80% of your money on the 20% days. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Yeah. It's true. So
well, you can, but Kevin, you can also lose all the money you made on the 80% days on the 20% days. So I mean, yes, these are the type of days you can catch something and it runs great for you. That's great. And that's why I'm saying I'm not saying don't trade these days by any stretch, because yes, you can catch those that caught the break at 23K the first time could have rode that thing down 150 points and just made bank. So I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying make sure your risk adjustment in your position size is a little better on these types of days.
Since we have time here, I mean, I know Noah Coles just asked a question about how I get my zones, and I can show that real quick. So what I look for is areas of imbalance. I've talked about this a few times, but I look for fresh areas. So I do a top-down analysis, meaning I start at a higher time frame and I work my way back down. So, for me to get, for example, this 4-hour zone that you see here, and actually, I don't even know where that one came from, to be honest. But this 4-hour zone, for example, you can see like a basing candle, which means like we have, a small area of consolidation, a small body candle. I don't like seeing too many wicks on it, but, you see a small basing candle and then a move out of that area with a strong imbalance candle. And so, you can even see one right here. This one would be invalidated because we're obviously way past that, but you can see a small basing candle and then a move up to create this imbalance. And that tells me that, because we had this imbalance, because we had such a strong move out of that area, there might be orders still sitting at that level. So, unfilled orders, again, we're talking about institutional investors here. We're talking about big banks. Those orders could still be sitting here for weeks on out. And so you could see here, we had a nice reaction, not just from this demand zone, but you guys can see this is also a psychological level at 800. So yes, we did come and test it. I don't like to keep demand zones when they're, or supply zones when they have been tested, multiple times, definitely not, but you can see we did test this area. I did actually put back this demand zone just so we can see it, and it is at an 800 level. But you can see we did come back, retest it, and then today we actually filled this demand zone. So to me, this is not the freshest zone anymore. I would actually start to try to see if there was an area here potentially that was on a shorter time frame, which once we start getting more of the day, we could maybe start using this candle as a demand zone, but I don't see that happening. Just because I don't like the wicks. I don't like the wicks on this candle. And then, we might create something here, but what I would be looking for again is a small body and then a massive move out of that area. I like to also look and make sure that the candle itself that created the basing candle is typically from the opposite. Like you see a green basing candle and a strong red selling selling candle. So in this case I used the 1 hour here, but I would have liked this candle to have been green. However, we did end up creating some sort of supply here. So I did mark this as a potential area, but that's kind of how I look for my zones. And I could miss some, of course. I do like to put the time frame that I see these zones on, just so I can see, was this a higher time frame zone, meaning that it's going to be a little bit of a stronger area. If it's a lower time frame, I don't like to usually mark zones out lower than 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll look at the 15-minute, but for example, on this, you could see this is a 30-minute demand supply zone that we put in the pre-market here, right? We had a nice small basing candle and a strong reversal out of that. So that's telling me there could potentially still be orders sitting here if we do come back to this area. Possible rejection of this area would not surprise me. So this is how I get my zone. Same thing on ES. You see this supply zone sitting here on this is the 5-minute, but like I said, I don't like going below the 30-minute, but you can see a really nice basing candle and then a strong move out of that. So that's actually an area that I will also mark, but I hope that was helpful in terms of how I get my zones. And typically they do pretty well. I mean, you can see even that 4 hour that I had on there was really, really strong. But I'll mark it usually on a supply. I'll mark it from the bottom of the body all the way to the top of the wick. If this wick was higher, I would take it up higher there. But I would basically, take the bottom of the body to the highest of the top, is the highest of the top wick, and then I'll mark my zone from there.
All right. So I have a question actually for the chat that I'd be curious to see. What is your favorite or most used, most reliable high time frame and low time frame chart? So like, for example, I'll put this in here for me. I look at the 1 hour. It used to be the 4 hour. I've actually adjusted to the 1 hour in the past couple of months. 1 hour is I'm looking on the high time frame, 5 minutes on the low time frame. So I'd be curious. The chat wants to jump in there and let us know. So for all you degenerates that aren't going to give me 1 minute and 15 seconds or some shit like that.
Yeah, I like the 1 hour. The 1 hour seems to be a clean chart on the indices. So I think, I would agree with you, Matt. I would say 1 hour, 4 hours, also an area. I'll look at like pretty much anything between 4, 3, 2, 1, 90-minute, 45-minute, 30-minute, 15-minute. I'll look at all of these for zones, but I like the 1 hour, I like the 4 hour, and I like the 5-minute. That's actually a segment that Coach Tank did not too long ago, talking about determining your trader identity, determining what type of trader you want to be. If you're someone who's a swing trader, like, why are you looking at lower time frames? You need to be zooming out, looking at dailies, weeklies, even the 1 hour or 4 hour on that. But if you're a scalper or someone that likes to take quicker moves, your 5 minutes, your 2 minutes, even 1 minute is going to be the areas that you want to focus on. But not to say that you should completely ignore the higher time frames either.
Point and figure charts. Wow. I actually found one of y'all on the wild, huh? I thought y'all were just a myth. The point and figure charts. You never seen those?
I've never seen that. Point and figure? Man.
I don't know if I don't even know if I want to see if they have if they have point and figure on the on TradingView. Probably have to get what VWAP off of here. Yeah, there's your point and figure charts.
Huh.
Drew wants to stick that on. Looks like a bad game of Connect 4.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that looks like some sort of Tetris thing. I don't know. Point and figure. What? How would you even read this? What is this?
Well, I mean, it's not. I looked into these years ago. I don't know that it's that much different from what we look at. It's just presented a whole lot differently. Tendex, how do you trade this? Give me an example of something you look for.
At first, I thought this was like you were pulling up like a footprint chart because it kind of looked like there was
Yeah, a little bit.
But I had to zoom in a little bit and notice like, what is that? What are we looking at? Quite interesting.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm learning something new every day, though. I will say that. Something I've never seen. Man, we are just struggling. Bulls are struggling here. Very wiki here on the 5 minute. We're struggling here. Very wiki here on the 5 minute on both futures. Wiki. Yes, especially. ES cannot seem to make up its mind.
Sam, I started trading in 2014. Started in small cap stocks. They handed my ass to me for the better part of a year. So
small caps is crazy. Small caps.
It is. And I actually got to the point that I was break even, but I'm just like, that was a lot of work to be break even after, a year and a half. So I started moving in more into large caps, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to trade large caps. And then I realized, oh, you need several $100,000 in your account if you're going to reliably trade large cap stocks. And that's when I found the world of options. And then options handed my ass to me for about 6 months before I kind of finally figured it out. And then I really, as crazy as it is, because people say, oh, you can't make money directionally trading options. Well, you kind of can if you know what you're doing. I was just trading the charts. That's all it was. Instead of buying 100 shares, I'd buy a call or 5 calls or whatever. And now as I got a little more into options, yes, I'm doing more credit spreads, debit spreads, condors, things like all the fun stuff to say, right? Between candlesticks and options, like you can have the most fun trading terminology in the world, right? Like you can say, to somebody, I caught that extra wick into the abandoned baby formation, put an iron condor around it. Like who says that, right? Like
there's a lot of terminology in that.
There's a lot of fun terminology, but I always say with people starting on candlesticks, don't get too caught up in the names. Just know the pattern and what it means.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Yeah. For me, I don't, butterfly, dragonfly, doge, or hammer, all of that. Like I learned that all in the beginning, but it really just comes down to what are you seeing? Like what's this candlestick telling you, right? And going from there. You don't have to know the names. You just got to know what it does.
I see our fellow host is in the chat.
Nick. What's up, Nick? And Nick went to the marbles marathon.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
He carried a marble in his pocket for good luck.
Yeah. He was a marble while he was running.
Yeah. It's rolling on downhill.
We got to know how you did, Nick. What was I'm assuming you're done, unless you're just messaging us from your run, which would be
He's
awesome.
Such a degen. He's messaging and participating in the middle of his fucking run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Nick. Come on.
What do you mean, should I?
Yeah. What kind of fucking question is that, dude?
He said, should I? Get out of here.
We got an hour to kill and we just rolled off a little degen. So yeah, get your ass on stream. It's Friday.
He's asking. That's very polite. It's the Swiss in him.
What is he gonna say? Like, no, we met our Nick quota per day. So no, I'm sorry. It's a 1 Nick per day show.
Well, it's okay because we'll still be under the 39% or whatever the percentage we need to stay.
Except Drew probably doesn't have any of the shots kicked up. He's just like, God damn it, really?
Causing more work for Drew here in the back end.
Drew's gonna have a hairline like mine in about 6 months. So we're gonna have to deal with us for this year.
Oh, Drewskis. We love you, Drew.
Actually, considering how many, like I said, like Drew pretty much has this held together with OBS and duct tape. Like it's amazing. We haven't really had any major problems. We've had a couple of hiccups here or there that are mostly related to the ISPs instead of the tech. But yeah, that's pretty that's pretty fun. So yeah, okay. So Nick is talking behind. He's going to be with us in a couple of minutes, guys. So if he didn't break his record time though, we're gonna boot him off after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got to change into his white tee. What kind of question is that, Bodie? There's no way he shows up on stream without a white tee.
He better show up with his number still.
Oh, his little race bib. Yeah.
His bib. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Like, you better rock that, Nick. What are we doing?
Yeah, you need to come on in instead of a white tee, come on in a white tank and get us a ticket to the gun show, Nick.
Oh man,
Let's
I gotta know.
pick up the female demographic here.
Or the men.
I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, it's 2025. Whatever you like.
I think I've seen him get hit on by more men than on this chat.
Oh man. I'm not gonna respond to that because I don't want to be in an extra meeting next week.
We see him getting set up here in the back end.
The background, yeah.
Did I just say back end? My bad.
Back end, background. There he is.
What's up?
What's up, Nick?
Wait, I still need the preview. I don't see shit.
Oh.
Wait. I'm on it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
There he is.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
I see. Wait, I'm confused. I see Miriam like super green. I see Matt very green. And what's the minus in front of the house live? I don't get it.
Yeah, little D-Gen tried to front run a short.
Why is it green though?
I don't know why it's green. I think it's just he did. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
People are colorblind. It's okay.
Mhm.
Can't tell. How was your marathon? Tell us about it.
It was good. It was really good. I only did a half. That was for the charity challenge of my friend, right?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
So he completed his 26th in 26 days, which is
That's insane.
crazy.
Like, that's literally insane.
That is literally crazy, yeah.
Hey,
But
props to you, man.
he's a beast. But no, for me it was easy. The only thing that I got was a sunburn on my nose. Now I have a red
Yeah, we
nose,
see that,
like
yeah.
Rudolph. It's
We got Rudolph
pretty
over here.
intense. The weather prediction was that it's going to be rainy, and suddenly the sun was out. I mean,
That's
don't have anything against the sun, but I just pulled up Tradeify and my chart is just black. Like, what the hell happened here?
Mm.
Holy
You tell us,
moly!
man.
What kind of drop was that?
Yeah.
Weren't we talking 23K 500 yesterday?
Oh, we sure were.
Holy
sure were.
moly! Okay.
Yep. We are very much below that level now. So we've just kind of been consolidating those. So quite the day for us shorties over here. But yeah, Nick, I mean, it's been a quite a week. Let's just say that, quite a week.
Crazy.
Did you expect any of this to happen? I just got to ask that.
It's actually funny because I didn't have time to trade today because I was obviously going to this other city to do the half marathon. But I was thinking, it's funny, I even have it on my chart. Wait, I need to pull this up. This would have been the most banger entry. Wait, one sec. How do I pull this up? It's confusing when you're not prepared to go live. Need to pull up all the charts and stuff. Okay, so I did actually mark out a trade before I went. I didn't take it, to be fair. Just gotta share my screen here. So Drew has that in the back end. I think that should work now. So yeah, there it is. Okay, so this was the trade I marked out in the morning. That was a short at 23,315. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that would have worked out.
Should have held it.
There was such a clean bear flag during the London session. Oh my god. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Oh my god. This would have been perfect.
Wild.
So what kind of trades did you guys take today?
Man, so I got in pretty early on an ES trade. So I've been talking about ES all forever now and saying I'm going to trade it. I'm going to trade ES. I'm going to trade ES. And today I traded ES. So I think I need to
Miriam caught the initial move down and I caught the bounce. So it was kind of looking at it from both ends. So both maybe got out a little too soon, but that's all right. We took our I wasn't risking holding the long too long on a day like today, especially after that initial move. So now we took some money out of the markets, and on a Friday, we're all going to think and end the week green. So what more do you want at that point, right?
Let's go. I mean, that's how we do it at Tradeify TV, except yesterday. Ignore yesterday.
Ignoring yesterday.
Hey, there's a kitty.
Yep, one of them.
Which
Aw.
one is this?
This is blue.
Blue?
White.
Blue.
Yeah, blue, because he
Blue
has
is
very,
white.
very blue eyes.
Oh, okay. There you go. He looks pissed.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful cat. What kind of cat is that?
It's a British short hair, but they look like CMEs. I don't know why.
Oh, that does not. Yeah, British short hairs I thought were always gray.
Yeah, no, they have gray, white, red ones, I think, too. Or like orange.
Red. Wow.
Yeah, orange, not red, but
Just a red cat.
yeah.
Man.
Oh well. Okay. So I need to see what happened here.
Nick's so
Enlighten me, senseis.
You know, well, actually, I said at the beginning of the broadcast, unfortunately, Nick, and it's good you're only on for the hour today. You know, there is now a new 39% tariff on Switzerland. So, as I said at the top of the
Really?
show, we need, unfortunately, we were told by accounting they can't work out the pay discrepancy. So, we just have to have you on 39% less.
Yeah.
39%? Like what the hell?
Technically, you're considered a Swiss export now.
What the hell?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is what it is. But
Well-
stick around. They may be gone by Monday at the rate we're going. So
Yeah.
Thanks, Donald. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
yeah,
What
there
else?
was
Is
a
there-
bunch of comments from your, I don't know, what do you have, a president, prime minister?
I don't even know what that is. It's like
Yeah.
6 people.
I know, and from one guy I'd never heard of before.
A group.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a group. There is obviously the head of the group, but it's 8 people, I think. Yeah, it's 8.
okay,
8 people, and then the head is one of the 8.
okay.
Something like that. So is the chat green today?
Well, we can have background Nick toss up a poll. If the
I think
chat's
we
green
did.
or-
Yeah. I
did we?
asked for that earlier.
Oh yeah, it's up there now. Yeah, no, it's up there. I'm sorry, green, red, flat, and lizard. So yeah, I mean, listen, the chat was yelling out some nice wins in the first 30 minutes of the show today, or first 30
Nice.
minutes of the New York Open. So I believe Tradeify TV is eating once again.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. I see so many people demanding marble races. What's going on? Didn't you do any marble races?
No, nothing yet.
What?
I mean, we
Well,
could
I mean-
we could always just run one just for the shits of it.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I mean, just for me to go short.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly.
Well, I don't know. Looking at where we are in the charts, yeah. If 22.9 gives out here on the NQ, this feels like it wants to go test lows in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's not looking too great.
Wait, we're at quarterly open?
Yeah, dude, we're down
Oh.
almost 2% on the day, and that doesn't even count yesterday's afternoon sell-off.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
I don't know how far we are off from the top, but
Nice downtrend here setting up too. I mean, man, yeah, we're not looking like we want to make this bounce just yet. I mean, there's still so much day left, right? Like if you caught a move, and I always say this on Friday, like if you caught a good move, made a good day, if you made a good trade today, especially of all days, take your wins and bounce. I mean, this is right now we're just really consolidating. This is the sort of price action I would be expecting around this time of day, pretty much going into the next like hour or so. And then, you know, we've been typically getting some afternoon moves or after lunch moves, but you know, again, I wouldn't force it if you did take a trade. I think right now, you know, getting back above ES is like 85 area, which is literally where VWAP is sitting right now, would be the only chance for bulls to make, you know, a continuation above that. NASDAQ does look a little bit stronger, yet still weak. Both futures are still weak, but NASDAQ's area is going to be definitely this 23K. You guys can see a nice rejection of that area here. And then VWAP is actually sitting where pre-market low is, but yeah, so far that trade that we took, breaking pre-market low on ES was the move. I mean, definitely was the move, but Yeah, we'll see. See what we get.
The NASDAQ index itself, not the NQ, but the NASDAQ index itself is now 3.3% off its all-time high. So we're 1.7% more down to get into technical correction territory.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wonder what those levels look like then on NQ. You said 1% down from where we're sitting right now would be correction?
1.7.
Okay, so almost 2%.
In the NDX.
Oh, in the NDX. Okay.
Yeah. The QQQ, I don't know why ChatGPT can't give me a straight answer on the NQ itself. It gave me the Qs and the NDX. It did not actually give me the NQ. Let me see if I can bet on.
Did you ever trade the NDX on options?
I traded the triple Qs quite a bit.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I always traded SPX, but I never traded NDX.
Yeah, I was a big SPY QQQ. I traded the IWM, actually. I traded the Russell a lot.
Oh, okay.
As far as those go.
All right, now I'm finally set up with everything. I'm here.
Nick's back again.
3.84% off the highs in the NQ front month contract. So there you go. Closing in, if we probably were at 4% as we got lower. So we're not actually all that far away from technical correction.
Man.
What
Trying to get a nice move to the upside here. Breaking this trend line.
The 900 level is really holding, huh? 22,900.
Yeah, let's see. We can make our move back to the 80s here on ES. NASDAQ, let's look. Here's a trend line on NASDAQ that I see. It's trying to break. It looks like a possible double bottom setting in here. Again, still not convinced on the bulls until we can get back above the 20s on NQ. 23,000 and then 23,020. We'll see. Anything you're eyeing, Nick?
Right now, I'm still looking at everything that happened.
I'm actually very curious to hear your perspective, Nick, as somebody who really hasn't looked at much today. Now you're sitting down and looking out over the first time. I'm kind of interested in your perspective.
Yeah. So here's what I'm seeing. The 22,800 level, is that... Wait, I need to scroll to the left here. What happened there before? Okay, I see. So that was an important level on the 11th of July, 14th of July, 7th of July that we just rejected. And as well on 30th of June. So that's bouncing. Quarterly open is holding. So my perspective right now would be that we consolidate here, honestly, between London low and quarterly open. That would be what I'm anticipating to happen. Did you already call out what you think was going to happen in the afternoon?
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was asking because my prediction is this is going to consolidate between London low and quarterly open.
Actually, I thought we were going to break down below -1 standard dev there just a few minutes ago. Now we're bouncing off that level. That is acting as support. Right now, the 60 to 70 area is a little bit of short-term resistance, but we seem to be punching through that. So not a ton of liquidity on the board overall. 23,000's got a little bit of liquidity up there. Maybe we need to make a run at that level. Again, I would think a level like that may be more important on a day like today than VWAP or standard deviation or anything. It's a big, huge 1,000 number. So we'll see. I know the algos want to take it there because they make a ton of money every time we hit one of those levels.
Well, almost feels like a range to me. It's not just 23,000. It's definitely key area, but call it like almost a 20 to 30 point range from 20,000 to 23,030, right? Like, and that actually looks good in terms of, and I'm not saying, oh, go short here, but you know, if we do start to find some resistance, you have VWAP, you have pre-market low, and then you have this key area of 23,000 that we would need to clear. So if we start coming into these areas and finding resistance, you know, there might be another chance that we still continue lower. But
Well,
Yeah,
but
right
again,
now we
right
are getting
now,
some.
right now
What?
that 930, 935 candles, right? 1030, 1030, that's still a lower high. So unless
Right.
we break out above 20,000, 23,020, we're still I mean, if we bounce off of 23,000 and head lower, that's another lower high. So until we make a higher high, the downtrend is not done.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're talking about like, we're talking about like a bigger time frame here. Like that's why you really have to zoom out and look at like what we're sitting in, right? Look at this downtrend that we've been sitting on, right? We're still in a downtrend, or down, this downtrend is still in place. So, even though on the 5-minute looks like we might try to bounce here, keep in mind if you're looking at a higher time frame, we're still in this downtrend. You could even call it this right here.
Yeah, I mean, crazy, Matt, that you made your money long in this market.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Yeah, I know.
And probably bailed out of the trade a little early too. I stuck to my initial profit target because I was only 1 mini. I set my stop, set my profit target, and just let it go. So it was
I mean,
nice,
you caught like almost 30 points on that.
Yeah, close about that.
That's
Nice.
great.
And what level did you take the bounce at?
Oh, let's see. Hold on. Don't pull up my screen, and I'll go check my account. And they need to give us a way to block these account numbers out. Let's check orders. All right, so I got in at 911 and out at 940.
Okay,
Nice.
So close to a 30-point win. We'll take it. We'll round up because it's a Friday. So
very
yeah,
nice.
like I said, Miriam caught the short down. I caught the long up. So we'll at that point it was kind of just see where things go. Although Lil Degen traded against me.
But well,
yeah,
his number is still green though.
No, and the house account's still killing it. So one losing trade doesn't take away.
No, I mean like even now, even though it's a minus in front of it, it's still green.
Yeah, it's green. Yeah, it's.
That's the degen mindset, Even when you're red, you're green.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I'm reading some. I'm trying to read some news here. Their adjustment on GDP growth has been adjusted down. Let's see.
The
Real
last
personal consumption is down. Yeah, I mean that's actually one of the Fed guys pointed that out. I was reading his comments is that the jobs number this morning being a little bit of a disappointment isn't the news. The news is that the last two jobs report have been revised down by over 100,000 jobs in both of them. So wow. That's a big adjustment, and I guess we'll see. Let's see, NVIDIA.
NVIDIA's popping still back up here.
Yeah, U.S. government
the daily highs.
Stalls thousands of export approvals. So NVIDIA's big AI chip shipments to China. Say that 10 times fast.
Shipments.
Chip shipments.
Shipments.
Agency has delayed new rules and cut communications with the chip industry and lost key staff. High-profile delays include NVIDIA's AI chip shipments to China, with no licenses issued yet, despite assurances putting billions of orders at risk. One official says the backlog is the worst in over 30 years. NVIDIA and the Commerce Department have declined to comment.
Well, what kind of mad fake out was that on Apple?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, Apple's been struggling.
Yeah. And Q, that's an interesting level now there at the 23,000 and 22. Because if this breaks and breaks VWAP, this would be the reversal indication, but let's see.
Yeah, still rejecting VWAP here on ES though.
Yeah, I mean clean higher low on NQ that bounced off the 22,900s. And if we would break through London low and VWAP, that would be interesting for longs after.
Yeah.
Crazy, the last 11 minutes, last 12 minutes actually, just green candles on the 1 minute.
Yeah. We got some nice bullish movement here happening on ES, but still rejecting VWAP at the 88. It's pretty much where we topped out at. So this is going to be a key area. Who wins this? Bulls or Bears, right? Do Bears continue to add pressure and try to bring this back down? This is going to be where I look for us to potentially reverse, right?
Or is it just going to range?
Or we range, exactly.
Yeah, I mean we're right at, again, I wouldn't say we've made a higher high, but we've certainly equaled our previous one there, right at about 23,020. Now we're pulling back a little bit, back under 23,000. If we get up above VWAP, that basically finally breaks the downtrend. Although I'd argue we're in a little more of a neutral trend, right? A short-term trend, on the 1, 3, and 5 minutes than we are on the hourly or on the daily. So Nick, did you trade while you were running? You had your phone with you.
Full port, yes.
Only.
I did not. Should have though, just to piss you off, Matt.
Just to say you did it
on my phone.
Yeah. I'll give you a pass because I feel like you can at least still manage it. So it's people that start trading on their phone. So, and I get it. Some people say, "Well, that's all I got, and I got to do it at work." And all that. I get it, but damn.
I can't do it. See, I think if you're swing trading, it's totally fine. But if you're day trading, man, I'm sorry.
I mean, I have done it before. Not like I've never done it. And I've also done it in the gym, which I know Coach Tank hates. But it's just not really in your favor usually. You have higher probability to stick to your rules and to stick to your setup and to stick to your strategy when you're trading on a computer compared to a phone. Because in a phone, you can't see that far left, right?
Yeah.
And it's harder to spot the levels that you would usually spot on a computer. And you could follow your system, but you might miss things that you would not have missed on a computer. So again, I've done it before. It's just not acting in your favor, basically.
And keep in mind, like, if you're on your phone trading, you're at best trading on Wi-Fi and at worst trading on shitty mobile data. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even a 2 or 3 second delay in this game can kill you. I mean, unless you're playing for every trade you make is going for 100 points in the NQ or 40 or 50 points in the ES. Seconds matter. I mean, as retail traders, especially if we're in sim accounts, going to like worried about execution to the tick, not necessarily, especially in the NQ on sim, you're going to get 3 to 5 ticks of slippage in most situations. But at the same time, like, why, if that's one thing you can control, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's one thing if that was our only option to trade. It's not. I mean, if people trading out and you're on, maybe, like I said, not even on like a 5G connection or anything, and you're dealing with, but think about the time, the data, and all the steps the data has to go through to get to you. The order you pick has to go back to the markets. I know we're in the digital age and everything moves very, very quickly, but seconds matter in this business.
100%. Yeah. Like I said, especially unless you're swing trading, you really shouldn't be trading on your phone.
No.
Oh man. That just gave me anxiety. Especially like, I don't know. I don't like the interface. I use Tradeify, obviously. And so I don't like the interface on my phone. I can't even navigate what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Well, on the phone, you have to trade on TradingView because otherwise you get lost. Tradeify.
I saw something on, I don't remember what social media it was the other day, of some true degen that had wired in his phone to his dash in his car and was trading off of that.
Let's go.
I mean, it's kind of funny,
Wow.
and I get it, and it's clicks and views, but man, like, some people just need to get slapped every now and then.
All right. Well,
I mean, not hard.
Nothing's
I'm not advocating to hurt it. Like, just just enough to bring you back to reality a little bit.
I see a few people took a short here on the VWAP retest. 87s, I think DL took that trade there. I like it. I mean, I'm not taking it, but I do like it for a potential. I mean, you could set a stop pretty much at like the 290s, really right above VWAP. I think if that would invalidate the short. If you took the short at VWAP and then set a stop like a couple points above that, you could start moving to this downside. I would even say like 275 and then possibly the 263s again. So if we start getting a nice push down here, I would hold that trade.
Yeah, and Schrodinger's stop loss, I would add even another, like, I get it. Maybe that is literally some people's only option, but I would say if you're going to do it on your phone, please operate exclusively in limit orders, right? Don't mark it into something or mark it out, because, you know, again, let's think of, you get, and I think this is generous, but let's say 8 ticks, so two points on the NQ. Like, you take that off the front and the back, right? That's 4 points. If you're only playing for 15 or 20 points, like, that's a 20-some% of your profit. So yeah, I would only operate off of limit orders, you know, for especially for entries, to make sure you don't get screwed on those. So
makes sense.
You do look a little sunburned there, Nick.
I am sunburned as hell. Like, the weather forecast was rain and clouds, and it was sunny.
You're still out running in the middle of the day. We didn't put tariffs on sunscreen? Go get some.
Yeah.
At least not yet. Give it time.
39% chill.
Yeah.
Why?
For all the white teas.
Yeah.
Trump
watches this show. He says, I got something for the white tea guy.
I actually import those from the US, so.
Oh, we don't make then. You import them from here. They're imported from someplace else. We don't make them from here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, but I buy them from a US brand.
Oh, okay, all right. You buy them from a US company, which makes them in China, which ships them to you, and they probably never see the US.
Probably.
I mean, you avoid the tariffs at that point, so that's fine.
Actually, I'm gonna look up where they produce their stuff.
Nick's gonna go visit their factory.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, I bought a shirt with you. Can I see the factory?
Yeah.
They'll
have to get all the kids out of the sweatshop before you show up. That's
You said it.
Back up to 23. It looks like we want to make this higher high and kind of flip the day here a little bit. Dude, if we rally up to like 23,100 or 200, like, the Bears just got to throw their hands up and just retire at that point.
That's wild. That would be wild.
I mean, we were looking at 3%, 3% plus off the highs. We were looking at a 2% down day, and now, like, Tuesday, we're going to be back at new all-time high.
Oh God, right.
I'm sorry if that happens. I want an apology from you, Bears.
Nah. After this move, I'm not giving shit.
You guys are going to wear T-shirts that say Matt is always right.
Yeah.
All right. Found out Vietnam, China, Peru, and the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
That's where they produce.
And what company are they?
What company?
Yeah.
Cuts Clothing.
Cuts Clothing. Okay.
Oh, I've heard of them.
I've been ordering my stuff from there forever. Sponsor me, Cuts, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I think you pretty much just bought out their whole warehouse at this point. They don't have any more white
just the white stuff.
I don't know. Looking like they might want to bring this back down here.
Yeah, it is bull flagging, but I think this bull flag gets invalidated shortly.
Selling's coming in here on futures, on book maps. I think if they bring it back down below the 80s, there's a good chance we see the 76s. NQ still rejecting 23,000. Go figure. Oh yeah, happy National Swiss National Day.
Yeah,
you guys,
thank you.
Do some barbecues and set off fireworks like we do here in America.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. That's why I said it's
no, actually,
similar to 4th of July.
For Swiss National Day, everybody gets a Swiss watch, and then they get $10,000 deposited in an unmarked bank account.
Yeah.
And then every citizen in Switzerland gets like 1 pound of gold, and yeah, how we celebrate.
That's pretty nice. Is it also Girlfriend Day? Is that what I'm reading? Wonder Trader.
Girlfriend Day?
I think it's National Girlfriend Day, but it's not like like romantic girlfriend. It's like girlfriend friends.
Oh, okay.
I was drinking my coffee, reading that on Twitter earlier.
Well, tell my girlfriends out there, happy National Girlfriend Day.
I'm actually on the National Day calendar right now.
Oh, there's
Yeah, what else does it
there's like
say?
80 per day now. It's really weird.
Okay, so August 1st. Wait, this website is weird.
So you still got your runner's high going on there, Nick?
Look, I have never had a runner's high my entire life. I've ran multiple marathons. I've ran multiple half marathons. I've been running for so long. I still hate it. And I've never had a runner's high. And I still wonder what that feels like.
All right, well, come on over here, hang with Miriam and I. We'll get you high one way or another.
Yeah.
Without the running.
Hey, yeah, well, you can run if you want. It's not necessary.
Well, background Nick was talking about running the Chicago Marathon, so I guess we're gonna have to fly you out for that, or you could just run and then swim.
I'm down. Like a little friendly competition. I'm down for it. Actually, today during the half marathon, a friend of mine was like, "Okay, Nick," but we were running up a hill, and then he was like, "Okay, look, do you see that sign over there? Let's do a race up the hill." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." We did an uphill sprint. We almost collapsed after. It was like a 20-second uphill sprint. We almost died.
Oh, hell to
But
the
I'm
no.
always in for some competition. Hey, background Nick just said, let's do it. All right, I'm in. Let's do it. But let's do a half. Full or boring? Too long.
I already feel sore from my workout yesterday. I don't even want to think about running anything.
Miriam and I will be at the finish line drinking. So that's
Tick Samurai says he runs 70K in 8 hours. Wow, that's massive. That's really good.
70K.
Yeah, that is very.
Y'all
very
are not even human. You're just what NVIDIA's trying to hire as AI.
Drew just said in the background, I'll be at the finish too. Carry your own damn camera.
Nah, Drew, you gotta film the IRL stream. You gotta run beside us. You can go on an electric skateboard and just ride beside us.
I don't know. I like him running. I better start training, Drew.
But we don't want the shaky footage on the IRL stream, you know. DL says I drive 70K in 8 hours.
That's great. Catalina Marathon? Like Catalina, California?
I guess if she says around the conservatory.
I've never been to Catalina, but I actually heard there was a marathon there that was really pretty.
Yeah, Tick Samurai, you're a beast, man. Congrats. That's really, really good.
Nice. Very
Next
nice.
year, I'm thinking about doing a 100-kilometer thingy with a couple friends. But I guess after that, I'll never run again.
You've done all your running your whole life.
Yeah, seems like it. All right, NQ is trying to break here. 23,020. Up to VWAP. Let's see. Hey Drew, since you're already giving geography tips in the chat here, when are we finally gonna play GeoGuessr? When is that time coming? Whenever it's ready. Okay. Well, how about now?
How long? What's like a record GeoTrader win? I don't know.
GeoTrader?
What is it called?
GeoGuessr.
Oh, whatever. We can call it GeoTrader because it's in. I don't know.
GeoTrader?
What is it called?
GeoGuessr.
Oh, whatever. We can call it GeoTrader because this is a trading stream, guys.
Okay, it's called GeoTrader now.
It's GeoTrader.
Hey, that would actually be fun. Imagine it's GeoGuessr, but for traders. So you get a random screenshot of a chart and you have to find out which instrument it is and on what day.
On what day?
Mm-hmm. You have to like whoever is closest to it. Or even if you say like you just do NQ and you have to find out what day and time it was. That's GeoTrader. Trader
I
guesser.
mean, do you get prices? Like,
Well, you get a virtual high five.
no, I mean, like, do you get prices like that?
To answer M's question in the chat,
Yeah.
I mostly use the TradingView platform, the app on Windows. If I use Tradeivate, it's typically web-based, but I do understand Tradeivate does have an actual app. What do you guys use for?
I use the app.
Yeah.
Tradeivate.
Any chance you have, and I know I know Project X is just web-based, but any chance you have to use an app over a web app or over a browser, I encourage using the app.
Okay, it is
Letting us
breaking out
push.
now at VWAP.
Yep, we are at VWAP here.
I like it.
Also at pre-market lows.
That
Let's
bull flag would
see.
have paid.
Yeah, if there's going to be a strong rejection, it would be at this level.
Mm-hmm. $300s on ES also has some strong sellers. I don't know if you're looking at ES on Bookmap's map, but I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. Now, this is something that we've seen before. We don't see very often. You know, you have 1,100, almost 1,200 orders sitting there. So be mindful of this 300 area on ES.
I mean, we could see it go lower from here as well. We could.
The 37s look like they have some potential sellers sitting there as well.
Ugh, Steven, I've never liked Ninja Trader. I mean, no offense to Ninja Trader. I know the overall product is I've never been able to get comfortable with it. And this is from somebody who uses Sierra charts, so.
Yeah, also, Steven, when you connect Tradeivate and trade it in Ninja Trader, I've experienced delays in orders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rather trade on the actual Tradeivate. But do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, finding the tools and the platforms that are best for you guys as well, whether charting or execution. And remember, I've said many times on the show, you don't want to necessarily have be tied to one specific platform for all of your charting, and then have to bounce around because you move prop firms. So if you're somebody who's familiar with a rhythmic-based platform, but maybe you want to trade, with Tradeify and go through, Tradeivate or Ninja or something, don't be reliant on your firm to provide like everything that you need. I mean, they provide a data feed, a platform, all of that, but it's perfectly okay to find a platform you really like and just, pay for the data feed for that. You don't have to execute through that. But I've used basically TradingView and Sierra Chart now pretty consistently for a while, and I'm very comfortable with those. I have and do trade prop firm evals and funded accounts that don't operate off those, so I've got to execute in a different way. But there's ways to create very minimalistic setups of whether it's Tradeivate, Project X, or even some rhythmic based platforms. So all you're doing is executing on that, and you're trusting the chart or the platform you're most comfortable with. I used TradeStation for years as my stock and options, and I mean, the platform's, I'll be honest, it's fallen off dramatically in the last few years. I don't use it anymore, but I was just, very comfortable with it because I spent time and energy to learn it. Guys, your platform is your tool, right? If you're a carpenter, if you're an electrician, you have tools that you use, and you need to be proficient in those tools to do the job. The platform is probably the most valuable tool you have. And so you should always know how to use it. And I'm not saying you got to know how to program or code it, but you do need to know how to get certain indicators up there. And to be honest, especially in this age of, I'm no programmer, no coder, but I've used AI to code up a lot of things for me in Sierra, even some things on TradingView. So, put in the time and energy and effort to learn your platforms and learn how to make them do what you want them to do, because that saves you so much time, energy, frustration, and even money on executions once you do that.
Mm-hmm.
do like this bull flag break here on the 1 minute. That is clean.
See if those orders on bookmaps get cleared at 6,300.
Those red bastards are going to pull it right before
I'm waiting for it.
I just don't really like longs here anymore. That's my problem with this bull flag.
Here, Drew, I'm going to pull up my book map and zoom in so everyone can see that area, and we're going to see what happens when it gets up there.
I had it up too.
Yeah.
Wait, what level did you say?
Right here at 6,300, you can see right over here, it's 1210 right now. That's the number of contracts sitting up there on the ask.
Okay. Okay, I know, thank you.
Well, I got this set. If I take it off, it'll reset it for me. So,
well, you already have it open. No, you have a tab with NQ.
I understand, but yeah, there we go.
NQ, I see 23,045.
Yeah, but see, now I gotta make adjustments.
And then 23,050.
So we'll see. So the idea, guys, we'll see this. Like, for example, here, we had this line of liquidity here, and this bubble goes right over it, and the liquidity doesn't drop off, which means this order got swallowed up. And you can see down here, there was, we got some buys in here, right? So let's see what happens when we get here. If we get up maybe one or two ticks beforehand, and all of a sudden this order disappears, well, that would be spoofing. That's not legal, of course, right? That just shows that whoever that was never interested in either buying or selling at that point anyway. They were just trying to draw the algos up to that level. If that's the case, they're probably already long down here, and they're just waiting and maybe even accumulating a position before we run up to that area. Now, if this gets filled, that means there was somebody who was interested in either establishing a long or short position at that point. And maybe some profit taking or stop losses hit anyway. It's also how you approach it too. If you swipe strongly through it, that's a very, very bullish sign. Maybe not right away, but if those orders get taken out quickly, that means that, again, liquidity on the board, and we don't always see all of it.
That's exactly why I didn't take this bull flag. I just do not like the longs here.
Well, it's not the best place, in my opinion, to long. I would wait for this to clear.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all, okay. Good luck, everybody else.
But last few minutes of the show on Friday, we're just running the greatest hits, huh?
Oh, Lord.
Nick's making voices. I'm sitting over here going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Show up for the last hour and just make
we gotta make sure people are entertained. I mean, when they stick around for that long,
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Yeah.
Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Yeah, it's such a good film. Where's our like count so low? What the hell is happening?
We didn't have you here to hype everyone up.
Shit. Guys, anybody who has not hit the like button yet, smash it really quick. Come on, for a nice weekend, for some good luck on the weekend. Smash that like button. It costs you nothing. And
see, they just pulled about 1,000 of those orders, Miriam.
Oh, I see it.
Were they pulled?
Yeah.
First time that happened, huh?
We're a ways away from it, so it might just be somebody reevaluating their position. But yeah, it's always a little shifty. Now let's see if they pop back up. If we get above 95 and those pop back up, that's either and again, even that amount can be an algo that's just putting that out. Yeah, see, they're thickening up a little bit again. Now somebody just added a 500 block.
It could be an interesting short with that VWAP rejection, London low rejection. Maybe. Maybe. Very, very interesting, yes.
See if they pick up here. Maybe bounce that VWAP and then make a move back up, but I don't know, we'll see.
Doobie doobie doo.
Chepo says, no marble race, no like. Well, I bet if I would offer you a free account for a like, you would still do it, even if there's no marble race. Just saying. You know what? We can also turn this around. No like, no marble race.
That's true. Jackie Legs, have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Jackie Legs. Some people have funny usernames here on YouTube.
Man, kind of an area of decision here, looks like.
That's crazy. I have not seen 250-point London session in a while.
Testing VWAP here.
Yes, Seer, we love you too. Through OG. Now at least we're at 413. Let's go. Thank you guys. Everybody who just clicked that like button. That looks better.
Look at that. You made Nick happy.
Yes. Now I get a nice weekend.
They are holding VWAP here on ES. NASDAQ still needs to clear this 23,040. And then those 300 orders are still sitting there on ES.
How long ago were those trades taken? The trades that you guys took?
Oh, pretty early on.
Literally within the
Pretty
first
early on.
minute.
Yeah.
No, okay. So right after open?
Pretty much, yeah.
Holy moly.
It's been kind of tough to trust a lot of the price action. As we were talking about, you know, the move down was slow, steady. It was, I mean, it moved quicker than normal, but it was a lot of like bids getting chewed up. It was a legit move down. Same on the move up, but ever since really about 10:30 Eastern, it's been, you know, now we're getting a little wicky. We're getting, I mean, nice bounce off -1 standard def here, but outside of the 11:35 and 11:40 candles, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot tradable on the board since then. And it's Friday. We made a little money early. It's, you know, we take our shots and we head into the weekend green. So
fair. Fair. Gotta love a nice green Friday.
hell yes.
Well, gotta love a nice green every day.
Especially a Friday.
Love a nice green Friday.
Especially a Friday.
Especially Friday. As well as a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. Turbo Skeeter said, I don't care about the giveaways. I'm here because they let me talk shit and don't mute me. Love it.
Funny.
Not yet. Give it time, Turbo.
Oh, you got to talk some serious shit.
No, he comes in. He's witty. That's fine. Keep it slightly. You know, I mean, keep it PG to PG-13 soft. Maybe a soft R for language, but outside of that, we.
There's an important question in the chat. Matt, speaking of green, are you going to mow the yard this weekend? Most likely.
The weather's gorgeous and the lawn does need to be cut. So most likely I'll be out there first thing tomorrow. The humidity's finally, the humidity was just killing my yard, man. Just killing it.
Really?
Well, it's, you know, a lot of the moisture just, it doesn't evaporate. So it's just so wet and spongy. And then, you know, that grass, yeah, I got to beat back some of this crabgrass now. So, yeah, we moved in here in November, and you know, it was pretty much done for the season with everything. And this yard was just in such shitty shape. The guy did not take care of it at all. So it's already looking 100% better, but it's got a long way to go.
Dang.
Are we liking this for a short? Maybe.
Nick, you got to take a post marathon trade here.
True. Haven't taken any trades today yet. Dang.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, he's still got a few hours of the New York market to degen if he wants.
Yeah.
So.
We're really holding this VWAP level and the 9 EMA here on NQ.
Yeah, Sean, I feel you. Yeah, and unfortunately, like literally, the neighbors to the left or to either side of us and right across the street are all older. They're retired, right? So like their lawns look immaculate because they pay people to cut them and they pay people to come spray them a few times a year. I've already decided. I actually, it's a quick cut, and I don't mind doing it. So I'm going to cut it next year, but I'm definitely going to be bringing somebody in to handle the fertilizer and all that because there's some lawns in the subdivision that look great, and they all seem to be the same company. So I'll be contacting them next year. I just wanted to do it once myself, just get a hang for it and see how much work needed to be done, and a lot does. So
I'm really intrigued to take a short, but I want some more, or not more, but I want actual confirmation for a short.
They're really holding it here, really consolidating.
Yeah, but VWAP is holding as well so far.
We're also in the lunch hour though too, so
back up to quite a few orders on the board there at 6,300.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll watch another 5-minute candle or two together here, see if we can crack our way up there, and then we'll call it a week. What are you guys up to this weekend?
Nothing much really, actually. I typically don't really plan my weekends. It just whatever happens, happens.
Nice. I love that.
Right.
I love that. I'm gonna do a tattoo tomorrow, a new one.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna get a tattoo tomorrow.
Oh, of what?
I still have to do that from the bet I lost.
Wait, I got it.
Wait, Miss, like you're like one of the most like well thought out people I've ever met, and you're getting a tattoo because you lost a bet. I need a story time. I need a story here.
All right. So I have a very, very good friend who I coach in in trading. That's Joker 13.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I coach him in trading, right? And he was doing a half Ironman, which is for those who don't know, is running, like swimming, biking, and running, and very, very far. And his goal for that half Ironman was 7 hours, like sub 7 hours. And I said, literally just for fun, I said, dude, if you get it below 6 hours, I'll tattoo Trader Bros. And then he was like, dude, there is absolutely no chance I get it under 6 hours because my goal is sub 7, and that is already very optimistic. And I said, okay, so what is a hard goal for you? And he said, well, like if you say below anything under 6:15, 6 hours 15 minutes, no chance. And I said, okay, cool, then let's do 6:15. And that motherfucker had 6:02. 6:02.
Wow, you got paid.
So then I was like, okay, it's kind of lame if I just tattoo Trader Bros because it's like the.
Oh, you got paid.
So then I was like, okay, it's kind of lame if I just tattoo Trader Bros because it's like the. So what I did was I just translated it into Japanese, and now it looks really cool, actually.
Did you get a tramp stamp? Is that what it is?
Translated it into Japanese.
Yeah, now it's like a Japanese Trader Bros, and it looks really cool.
Oh my god. Well, obviously we're gonna have to see. Where are you getting it tatted?
So
I want to know.
I do have the Batman logo here, right? So probably here on the forearm, or like right under the elbow.
Joker, it was a missed opportunity. You could have made Nick get a tramp stamp.
Literally. I don't know what you were doing with that.
Yeah, we gotta have words with him about that.
Yeah, you would have loved it, Matt, huh?
You know it.
All right, guys. Matt, you got to cue us in.
Do I? Is it that time already?
Yes. I'm making it that time.
Miriam says, fuck this show. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you joining us for what was a little off the wall on Friday. We thank Lil DGen for joining us. And yeah, we caught a couple of nice wins to start the day. And then and I think we're going to carry our green into the weekend. And we also appreciate Swiss Nick popping back in while he's able for a little while. And the show is complete now because I can never match your energy for Miriam's intro and outro there, Nick. So you can definitely handle it. Handle it now. So thanks again for watching another edition of Tradeify TV, guys. We're going to be back all week next week with the same outstanding content that you guys are used to. Our normal slew of guests, and the next Friday is the big Halo Showdown. Cannot wait for that. Get your practice in this weekend. Get your chirps ready, because I can promise you Brett and Nick are going to come out of the gate winning or losing. They're going to shit talk you guys till you can't think anymore. So you got to be ready for it. They can do it with the best of them. So I might be helping them out with it too. So you never know. All right, guys. So thank you very much for watching another edition of Tradeify TV. Let's kick it around the horn, starting with Swiss Nick.
Let's do it. I just came for the outro, basically. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I wasn't here for the first hours, but it looks like Matt crushed it with his win. Miriam crushed it with her win, and Background Nick crushed it as well, because his loss is green, so fine. Anyways, looking forward to next week. It's going to be exciting, as usual. I mean, when is it not exciting to come and watch Tradeify TV? We love the show, love doing it. So thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting. If you haven't already, do that right now. And I wish you guys an amazing weekend. And as usual, let's end the stream with our one and only, today ES slaying, matcha drinking, curly trader, or sometimes NQ slaying as well. What else we got? Wait. Okay, let's end the show with our matcha drinking, ES slaying, NQ slaying, NQ drinking, I was about to say. I'm confused.
It's okay. You're still coming off that half marathon high, so.
Matcha mommy.
Appreciate it, Nick. Appreciate it. Yeah, and as usual, guys, this has been a great stream. Thank you all for coming to support us. If you haven't already, please smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share it with a friend, do all that so that we can continue to provide more value to you guys every single day. And as always, guys, it's Friday. Happy Friday per usual. Happy August 1st. If you guys were here in the morning, rabbit, keep saying it every single first day of the month so you guys can get that good luck of a month started off right. So, and enjoy your weekends. Make sure you enjoy your weekend, spend it with loved ones, and spend time for yourself. Take your hot girl walks, do all that so that we can reset for next week. All right. We'll see you guys on Monday, 8:30 Eastern. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend, guys. Go be great.